Guys, welcome to the Natural Effect podcast, where we talk about health, wealth, and everything else. I'm your host, Nate, and we've got a lot to uncover today. We've got some videos to be responding to. Majority of it is going to be UFC talk. I'm not going to lie, it's been a while since I streamed, so we've got a lot to uncover in the UFC, a lot of new MMA news, a lot of new fights booked. And then from there, we're going to go on to talking about fights outside of the UFC, talking about the Netflix card that's happening, talking about RAF, which is the American wrestling. Dylan Dennis is going to be fighting Colby Covington on that one. And then from there, we're going to be moving on to talking about Donald Trump in the White House. And then we're going to be talking about the fights that happen on Brand Risk, which is Aiden Ross's platform, right? There's a few fights on that. And then from there, we're going to respond to a HS Tiki Toki video with Piers Morgan. We're going to respond to the Manosphere situation in general. Akash Singh's wife. Joe Kent steps down. And Spanabis are scammers. And then from there, we're going to be talking a little bit about foot golf. And then moving on to politics. And then finishing it off with Mr. Cushington review. All right, cool. Oh yeah, and Arsenal. We've got a bit of Arsenal talk as well. So cool. All right, cool. Let's get it cracking, man. So we just had UFC London on the weekend. It was an okay card, but if you want me to be honest with you, it was still lacking compared to what we've had in the past. Even if you compare UFC London cards to UFC London cards, like the last few UFC London cards were absolutely epic. Not just the atmosphere, not just the fights, but even like the matchups and the lineups themselves, right? This time, a few of the matchups did they were good fights. However, if you compare the levels of the fights this time compared to last time, there's no comparison, man. And like I've been saying, the UFC is definitely slightly going downhill, and UFC London was just an example of that, you know? Now, nevertheless, we saw the new big Polish power. Now, I know Jan's still around, but there is a new big Polish power, and his name is Iwo Barianowski. I'm pretty sure I said his name right. And this guy is eating up fighters like they're pierogies, yeah? And he went out there against Austin Lane, and he absolutely obliterated him. You know, it was 28 seconds, knocked him down, a few blows after that, and the fight was over. And he's definitely going to be a problem for the heavyweight division in the UFC. Now, I don't know how good he is, because, he's still fighting, guys who are not that great, but he definitely packs a punch, a lot of power, and I like his movement. I like the way he moves and the way he fights. So, yeah, Iwo Barianowski, the new big Polish power in the UFC. Yes, Wedgies, what's happening, brother? Hope you're doing well. How you doing, brother? Big up to Skillets, Mike. Big up to Wedgies. See you guys in the chat. Now, I know there was one fighter at UFC London who got a lot of shit, right? Someone who I personally find entertaining. Obviously, this fight was awful. But let's be honest, the UFC kind of deserved it, right? And yes, I'm talking about Michael Venom Page. Now, for me, he was a clear co-main event. Like, the last fight, he went through Shara and absolutely dominated Sharabullah. And then they give him a whack matchup like Sam Patterson. Now, not only is Sam Patterson his sparring partner, and don't get me wrong, Sam Patterson is an up-and-coming guy and he's a good fighter, but there's levels to it. And Michael Venom Page has proven to the UFC he'll fight in 2 different weight divisions. He'll jump into any fight. He's ready to fight anyone. And most times he is entertaining. Yeah, he's a counter fighter, but he's good. He keeps his hands low. He's good at counter fighting, finding those strikes, keeping the distance. And in general, he is entertaining. Now, this time it was, like I said, a terrible fight. But let's be honest. Like I said at the beginning, the UFC kind of deserved it for violating him the way they did. Not only did they give him a terrible matchup when next he should be fighting for someone who's going to be just before her title fight, right? He went and beat Sharabullah, who the UFC pushed quite a lot. And then now they put him against Sam Patterson, not even in the co-main event in London. Complete violation, man. So I understand that Venom Page might have gone out there and didn't want to give his all for Dana White and, Hunter and Mick. But yeah, man, I don't think we can blame Michael Venom Page. I think the UFC is the one to blame for this because the matchup just didn't make no sense. Like, the guy's taking fights in the middleweight and the welterweight division. He's stepping in for the UFC when they want him to step in. And this is how they give him a thank you? Complete violation, man. Yeah, UFC's definitely going downhill. Yes, we are locked in. Big shout out from Cyprus. Yes, Andreas, big up to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Big up to Cyprus. My motherland. Definitely one place I'm definitely going to have a base from in the future. I definitely want to live maybe between LA and Cyprus, if you want me to be honest with you. Yeah, it looks like Dana White has finished matchmaking. In fact, they've been saying that Dana hasn't matchmaked for a long time. And it's pretty evident that Dana White don't really care about the UFC like he first did. It seems to me that he cares more about boxing and power slap than he cares about the UFC. At the beginning, you could see his heart was in it. The matchmaking was epic. And nowadays, it's just going more and more downhill. And, they said that they were going to raise fighter pay, which is obviously positive, right? But what does the UFC do? Apparently, they rise fighter pay, which a lot of fighters come out and said that they didn't realize any sort of increase in their pay. But not just that, but now the UFC have come out and said that they're not going to be covering the team's travel and all the hotel stuff. So, make it make sense. You want to pay fighters more, but then you take away, their team's travel and their team's hotel. It just doesn't make sense, man. And to me, the UFC is very greedy. Dana White's a greedy guy. The guys who own the UFC, as we know, where is it? Oh, damn. All right, I need to definitely... Oh, yeah. As we know, the guys who own the UFC, Ari Emanuel, and the guys who even own Paramount, David Ellison, all part of the same squad. Jew. So, man, the UFC's definitely going downhill. Now, next up. Now, in the main event, I did go with Lerone Murphy to beat Movsar Evloev. However, I believe it was low-key a robbery. Now, you guys let me know if I'm right or wrong, right? But for me, Lerone Murphy definitely won rounds 1 and 2. Number 3 was questionable. I personally gave it to Lerone, but let's say that it was Evloev's round, right? He got a point deducted in the 4th round. So even if he did win the 4th and the 5th round, it would still be a draw. How the fuck the judges gave it to Evloev to win? That means that they must have given him 4 of the 5th. They must have given him 4 of the 5 rounds, and that is no way. Definitely, Lerone Murphy won the 1st and 2nd round. Let me know, guys, if I'm wrong or right. And it just gets from bad to worse because now Evloev's won. I've heard some sort of rumors that he might not be even the next one up to fight Volkanovski. And, if he is the winner, he should be the next one up. It should have been the winner out of that fight to fight Volkanovski. And it makes absolutely no sense that they're trying to push June Silva to fight Volkanovski. And I'll be fucking fuming if that ever happens, man. And the fact that June Silva's even asking and calling out for this fight, he's definitely sniffing some special shit from the Amazon in Brazil. He's definitely sniffing some fucking crazy shit from the jungles in Brazil because there's no chance that June Silva should be the next one up to fight Volkanovski. Yeah? He literally lost to Diego Lopez, which for me, he got dominated by Diego Lopez. The same guy, Diego Lopez, who lost twice to Volkanovski. The last time round, he got completely dominated by Volkanovski. So it makes absolute zero sense. And even And even Alexander the Great, you know, the featherweight GOAT, Volkanovski, is even saying the same thing as I'm saying. He's saying he wants to fight Evloev next, and that's what makes sense. It makes absolute zero sense to be fighting June Silva, man. June Silva, you need to go back to crying with your missus, looking at a belt, because you are delusional right now. And I don't know what the fuck you've done with Dana, like, if you let him bang your missus or you King Cuck or some shit, but it makes no sense why Dana and the UFC is even pushing you, man. Like, you're not a fan favorite. Majority of people don't like you. You're clearly like some demonic little creature, and you're not that great at fighting. Yeah? Even the Arnold Allen fight lost. It wasn't that convincing. You know, you won just about. Yeah, exactly, man. Majority of fighters cannot afford to pay for their team's travel. That's just the truth. There's only like a good 5 to 10% of fighters that actually get paid really well. Like, yeah, your stars like Topuria, Alex Pereira, obviously Connors and the Khabibs, they all obviously got paid very well. But guys, even the guys who are like, you know, not stars, but, you know, have potential, they get paid very badly, man. Like, I don't know. Like, do you really think someone like Justin Gaethje is getting paid millions? I doubt it. But maybe I'm wrong, you know? Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe Gaethje does hold more weight than I'm thinking. But maybe I picked the wrong fighter. But look, let's say someone like Fiziev or Benoit Saint Denis or any of these fighters, they probably get paid not that greatly. If I had to guess, probably like hundreds of thousands, which for you to go and put your life on the line, put in a lot of time into camp, paying your manager, paying your coaches, paying the gym, paying for travel and accommodation. After all that, you're not going to be left with much, man. And I do feel sorry for a lot of the fighters in the UFC, especially when you're seeing Dana White going and dropping like 15 mil on Conor Benn, which Conor Benn, let's be honest, I know who he is because I'm British, but a lot of Americans here in even Cali or even all across America, they've never heard of him or even know who he is. So what's next for Leroy Murphy? Now, even though I think that the Leroy Murphy got robbed and he actually won the fight just about, or if not at best, it was a draw. I do think next he should be fighting Diego Lopez. Obviously, Diego Lopez is coming off a loss to Volkanovski. Just before that, he beat June Silva. But, you know, I think that should be the next fight. And whoever wins that then can be maybe one more fight away from fighting for the title. Now, if it's Diego Lopez who wins, you need to give him 1 or 2 fights next. If it's Leroy Murphy, just because of how the fight went with Evloev, maybe you give him the next fight out, the winner out of Evloev and Volkanovski. Let me know what you guys think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I being biased because I'm British? Let me know in the comment section. Another thing I noticed about Dana, I know it's not about him underpaying fighters or not putting that much effort into the UFC no more and whack matchmaking. It's none of that. Like, what the fuck is this about? He has English to English translators. Now, look, I get it. He went to UFC London, and some of those Northerners in the UK, I can't even understand. Like, certain Scottish people or people from Newcastle, Birmingham, anywhere up north, it can be a little harder to understand them. But, you know, he's not just with British, it's not just with British people that he does this. He doesn't hear, he has bad hearing, is pretty evident by now, but he doesn't understand a lot of people. So now Dana White's got his own translator that translates from English to English. You know what's funny, which I saw on the MMA news? Shavkat Rakhmonov is having baby mama dramas. And it's funny to me because, you know, you guys know I'm very critical of women in the West, right? And I talk about passport bros and people outside of the West being more traditional. But it's funny now that Rakhmonov, who's from like Russia, right? He's from Kyrgyzstan, which is near Russia, right? Definitely not the West, and definitely they live by traditional values. Now, even he's having baby mama drama. You know, he turned around and he had a good fight with Ian Gary, just about beat him ever since he's been injured, and he's fighting back. He's fighting against injury now to come back and hopefully get the next title fight at welterweight. But yeah, it appears that he's having drama with his missus. His missus is saying that he doesn't want to see the kids, and he's got 5 kids with her. And it just makes me think, man, like his relationships doomed across the whole world. It's not just here in the West, because as I said, I'm very critical of women and relationships here in the West, but even in the fucking Middle East and near Russia, man, they're having problems. And even someone who's probably a star from that side of the world, Rakhmonov, can't keep it together with his missus. And yeah, crazy to me, because I definitely think, when I think of people like Khabib, Rakhmonov, Islam Makhachev, I just think they never have no problems with their missus. It's very limited to the amount of arguments and drama, because women from that side of the world, honestly, they see men as their superiors, and that's how it should be. I think in a relationship, you know, a woman's life is worth more for sure. Like, you know, the man has to protect and provide for her. However, I do think that the man should be the leader and the guy who sets the rules in the relationship. All right. So, I just mentioned Rakhmonov coming back into the welterweight division. So, it leads to, who should Islam Makhachev fight next? Because obviously Rakhmonov is not ready right now, right? So, for me, there's 2 clear candidates to be fighting Islam Makhachev next in the welterweight division. For me, it's either going to be Ian Gary. So, obviously, Ian Gary won his last fight, but obviously did have a loss against Rakhmonov, which it was a close fight, right? And in the end, he did end up getting Rakhmonov's back, which is definitely impressive. Definitely as an Irishman, getting the back of someone who's, you know, from close to Dagestan. But the other person is Michael Morales. Now, Michael Morales is definitely one of the number 1 contenders in that division as well. For me, it's going to be either one of those 2. And especially now that we've seen Ilia Topuria being booked against Gaethje, we definitely know that it's not going to be Topuria against Islam Makhachev next. So my guess is going to be either Ian Gary or Michael Morales. Who do you guys think should be next? Michael Morales, the tranny, or Ian Gary, the cuck? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Okay, we're going to go over to Arsenal slightly, and then we'll go back to the UFC, right? So, a lot to uncover with Arsenal. You know, we've had a few up and downs recently. We had, you know, a last, 5-10 minutes saviour from our youngster Max Dowman against Everton. But we then went on to play Manchester City in the League Cup final. And God, did we bottle it, man. Did we bottle it? Absolutely poor. The whole team was poor. Obviously, Kepa, our goalkeeper, made a mistake, which cost us. And it makes no sense why Arteta started him. I get it. He's played all the other cup games. But if you're in the final against Manchester City, you have to play one of the best goalkeepers in the world, David Raya. You cannot have him on the bench in a game that's that important. It makes no sense. And Arteta, you're a dumb fuck. Now, you know, against Everton in the Premier League, we just about saved it. And right now, things are looking good in the Premier League unless we go and bottle that too. Now, if we go and bottle the Premier League and we don't win no other cups, and I still hear Arsenal fans telling me that Arteta should fucking stay, I'm going to go on a fucking mad one. Yeah? I'm going to go on a fucking mad one. It's either I'm going to give up on Arsenal, stop watching football as a fucking whole, and just call it quits and retire from that fucking sport. Or I'm going to go around and start fucking lamping fucking Arsenal fans because they're fucking pissing me off, man. They're fucking delusional. They don't want to take no accountability. And Arteta, it's your fucking fault. We look flat. We didn't have no attack in that game. Even the whole of the squad didn't look like they had no oomph or desire to win that game. In fact, the only guys who did was Saliba and Gabriel. The rest of the team looked uninterested, shook, and in the second half, we got absolutely fucking dominated. Now, next up, we have Southampton in the FA Cup this weekend, right? Hopefully, we are able to go and spank Southampton. You know, we're away, but, you know, that should still be an easy matchup. And then next after that, we do have an easy matchup in the Champions League. Now, I get it. No matches are easy in the Champions League. But compared to all the other teams we could have played, Sporting Lisbon was a fucking present, man. And we should absolutely beat them, both legs, if you want me to be honest with you, and go to the next round to either play Atletico Madrid or Barcelona in the semi-finals. Now, things are looking prosperous. But like I said, if Arteta manages to bottle everything and we end up trophyless at the end of the season, I don't want to fucking hear a word out of any of you guys, yeah? I want to hear Arteta out and I want to hear him being sacked. Now, do I want him sacked right now? No. I'm not just going to give up on him just because we lost the FA Cup final. However, it didn't look good. Not only the result, but the whole performance as a whole was awful. And yeah, Nico, the Manchester City youngster, you know, same name as me, Nico O'Reilly, he went out there and he peppered us, man. He got 2 goals against us. So it's actually crazy that Max Dowman went and got 2 goals against Everton, our youngster, and then we got peppered up by Manchester City's youngster fucking literally a week later. Not even a week later. And another person in our team who doesn't show no desire and has really been lacking recently is Saka, man. Like, Saka is not the same player he was before the injury. And I like Saka, man. You know, he's a great player. He was a great player, but he's just gone downhill. And it looks like he ain't got much to offer us. To the point where I'm thinking, like, do we sell him? Because if we don't sell him, we got to drop him and bring someone else to be starting instead of him. Like, I'd rather start Noni, honestly, if you want me to be honest with you. Arsenal fans, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, man, Arsenal against Manchester City. Looked like we parked the bus, weren't on it. And definitely disappointing result and performance. Now, for us to win the league, we do need to go and beat Bournemouth away. No, I think it's away or at home. I'm not sure. So, yeah, and for us to win the league and, you know, put the stamp on it where I'm not going to be worried no more, we do need to go beat Bournemouth now and then go on to beat or at least draw with Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. And talking of football, it's crazy, right? Tottenham are in a relegation battle, man. Unbelievable. And I know they had a relegation battle last year, but this year's looking a lot worse. Because last year, they were in the Europa at least. Now, they're in practically nothing but the relegation battle. And they're a lot closer to being relegated. Like, you know, they've got a battle with Leeds, Nottingham Forest, and West Ham going. And could you imagine if Tottenham go down after building the stadium that they built? Even though, you know, it's a gigantic toilet, in my opinion, they spent a lot of money in it. And it's not a bad looking toilet, let's be honest. But yeah, you guys know as a Gunner how much I dislike Tottenham and how epic it would be to see them going down. Now, could you imagine if we win the league or even do a double and Tottenham go down? Then I'll turn around and I'll say that Arteta's not sackable for a while, a good while, right? But at the moment, until we get our foot over the finish line and we at least get one trophy, and I don't want it to be an FA Cup. It can't be just an FA Cup and no Premier League and no Champions League. That would be a complete L. It has to be at least a major trophy. For me, a major trophy is either the Premier League or the Champions League, right? So, yeah, if we manage to do that, and could you imagine Spurs go down at the same time? How great would that be for North London? And on that note, North London will forever be red. Andreas, who's actually a Tottenham fanatic, he said, I've lost hope for Tottenham. Yeah, man. A lot of all my friends who are Tottenham supporters, you know, I have a good amount of friends even who live out here who are Tottenham supporters. Even in my foot golf team, like, you know, my boy Sam, he's a Tottenham supporter. My boy Gurmuk, Tottenham supporter. A few of the guys in the foot golf community, the guy that I lost to on the weekend, Jordan Godfrey, who's probably the best player. Not probably, he is the best player in America at foot golf, probably one of the best players in the world. He's a Tottenham fan. Sepp, who I play with at foot golf, he's a Tottenham fan. So it's crazy, but you know, America, here in Cali, we do have a lot of Spurs fans. So yeah, man, it's crazy, but it is embarrassing. So hopefully Arsenal can go out and do their goddamn thing, man. I'm looking for the Arsenal. Arsenal soundbite. Maybe I don't have it. A what? Yeah, I'm trying to see it. I definitely look, guys. I'm gonna literally spend some time just studying my soundboard because I definitely want to get more used to it, where things are not delaying. I don't know if it's on here, you know. I just remember we'll add it in it because I don't. Oh no, it's here. It's here. I finally found it. Okay, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to UFC. So we've had a lot of beefs recently in the MMA, community, and a wrestling match that I'm definitely interested to watch, which I can't believe that it got booked, but you know it's definitely going to be a good one. Is Dylan Dennis going up against Colby Covington? Now you know Dylan Dennis is a big troll. Most people don't rate him. Whack fighter, if you want me to be honest with you. Now look, his jiu-jitsu's decent, good. We haven't seen him do jiu-jitsu for a long time either. But, you know, his jiu-jitsu in Bellator looked okay. But as a fighter, as a whole, he's embarrassing, right? Even the fight against, Logan Paul, that was fucking terrible. Like, even I could have done a better job. And I'm a way smaller guy than even Dylan himself. But now they booked Colby Covington going up against Dylan Dennis at RAF at the wrestling, American Wrestling. So, definitely looking forward to that. And it's crazy because Masvidal and Colby Covington obviously hate each other, right? They used to be best friends. They've hated each other for years. Colby Covington pressed charges on him when Masvidal caught him at the restaurant and knocked his teeth out. And it's crazy because Masvidal has been going back and forth with Dylan Dennis. And Dylan, you do not want to see Masvidal on the streets. Because if he knocked out Colby Covington's teeth, imagine what he's going to do to you, bro. He's going to absolutely, take off. The same way that Masvidal is going to punch you up, I think it's the same way that Masvidal is going to get punched up, because Masvidal's been going back and forth with the Wolf, Boris, Khamzat Chimaev. And I don't really understand that beef. I don't know how those guys ended up beefing. But the same way Masvidal don't want to see Khamzat on the street is the same way that Dylan Dennis does not want to see Masvidal on the street. But going back to the wrestling match, I definitely do want to watch Colby Covington going up against Dylan Dennis. In fact, I would have liked to see Colby Covington going up against what's that American wrestler called? Bo Nickel. I would have liked to see Colby Covington going up against Bo Nickel at the White House card. I think that would have been a better fight than the fight with Chris Duckers. But nevertheless, they haven't booked Colby, the UFC. It seems to me that the UFC don't want to push Colby as much as they did. And, Colby's kind of critical on the UFC as of recent times. But I'm definitely looking forward to at least watching Colby Covington choking out Dylan Dennis. And that's what I think is going to happen. I don't see Dylan Dennis beating Colby Covington, if you want me to be honest with you. And if you want me to be honest with you, I don't even see Dylan turning up. We all know him for backing out of fights, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is another one that he backs out of. Yeah, Dylan Dennis is a bum. Like, honestly, I'm being completely honest with you. If I fought Dylan Dennis in an MMA fight, 1 minute, let me refresh this page, because this page is. Yeah, I don't know why these pages are like pausing and stuff. Yeah, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Dylan Dennis. Oh yeah. If I fought Dylan Dennis in an MMA fight, you know, honestly, like, I know every man in the world thinks they can fight. That's the truth, honestly. Like, majority of men in the world think they can fight, and majority of men, I would say at least 90% of men cannot fight. Yeah, you know, even if they can naturally throw a punch, when it really comes down to real techniques and actually, like, you know, really fighting all around, like striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, majority of men can't fight. But I can fight. You know, I've done jiu-jitsu before. I do think I'm a good striker. Now, do I think I'm good enough where I can be a UFC champion? Obviously not. I'm not delusional. However, Dylan Dennis, if I stepped into the octagon with Dylan Dennis, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to find that chin. His boxing's terrible. Like, I'm going to keep throwing my feints, and then I'm going to step into the range, and I'm going to clip him. I'm going to find his jaw. And when I do, you know, he's going to end up sleeping. And the fact that he's even in the MMA limelight as someone who is a potential fighter is funny, and couldn't be further from the truth, because, you know, we saw him against Logan Paul. We've seen him even in, like, Bellator, honestly. The only thing he can rely on is his jiu-jitsu. And I'm not going to be getting taken down by Dylan Dennis. Remember, he's good at jiu-jitsu, right? That doesn't mean he's good at wrestling. In fact, I don't think his wrestling is that great. Now, jiu-jitsu without wrestling is kind of pointless, because you're not going to be able to take me down. And, you know, I'm like 5'9", 5'10". I'm a stocky guy. You know, I have quite a lot of muscle on me, big legs. You're not going to be able to take me down, man. It's going to be a hard time. And while you're trying to take me down, I'm going to be landing elbows, knees, punches. I don't see Dylan Dennis taking me down. And the longer he stands with me, you know, the longer I have to be able to find his jaw. And when I do find it, it's going to go night-night. Now, you guys are probably thinking, bro, prove yourself. Like, you know, you're just talking shit. We've seen you hit the bag. That's all we've seen. A bag doesn't hit back, all of this stuff. But, you know, I've sparred a lot of different people. I've sparred ex-UFC fighters. I've sparred boxers. You know, not professional boxers, but people who are actual boxers. So I'm definitely going to want to prove myself. I would love to, like, jump on something like Brand Risk in the future. Fight maybe an up-and-coming content creator. Maybe take out like 3-4 content creators and then start fighting ex-UFC fighters, or maybe even current UFC fighters who are maybe in, like, you know, just outside of the top 15 or just inside the top 15. No, I'm not delusional. I know that I'm not going to beat the greats, but I definitely think I could give it a shot. Yeah, none of the chats are really coming up from... Oh, actually, that's why I think. Which influencer? Well, the fights that I think would be interesting for me right now, I think would be someone like, I don't know, Stacks and Drew. I don't see them ever fighting me. So those are kind of out of the equation, right? Stacks is never going to fight me. The guy don't fight. He's worth, you know, multi-millions. He's got no reason to step into a ring or even beef me in that sense. And, you know, he doesn't want it. He's not built like that. Drew, again, we know Drew ain't ever going to step into a ring with me or an octagon with me. It's never going to happen. Now, Salt Pappy is a lot bigger than I am. I would have to definitely build my platform and get a lot more popular before I fight someone like Salt Pappy. But I would love to take that fight. Tony Ferguson, I would like that to be maybe my third or fourth fight, but I do believe that I'll take out Tony within the first round as well. I know you guys are probably thinking, nah, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? That's Tony Ferguson. I don't think so, guys, man. Like, even the guy he fought recently, like I said, Salt Pappy, I think I take him out within the first few minutes, maybe. Marquette Devon Burton, who's some weasel called Satan the Sinner, some guy in the Red Pill industry who I don't like, maybe someone like him. He's a guy who's a lot more bigger than me, but I wouldn't mind fighting him, maybe like at a catch weight, or I'll even go up to 185. Fuck it, man. I don't mind fighting bigger guys than me when I know that I can take them out. Now, would I fight a bigger guy than me who I know is a good fighter? Obviously, it doesn't make no sense, right? But someone who I know who wouldn't be able to hang at all with me, I would fight someone bigger. Why not? America, hopefully it's all good. Just tuned in. Yes, host Luis Blanco. How are you doing, brother? Hope all is well, man. Hope all is well. Stream's been great so far. Got a lot more to get through. So, yeah, let me carry on, guys. So, this weekend in the UFC, we are going to watch the legend, yeah? Someone who I've watched him live 3 times now. I sat with his family, and one time it was with his brother David, and watched the fight front row, and it is Israel Adesanya. I'm a big fan of Israel Adesanya, man. Always have been, always will be. For me, he's still the middleweight GOAT, yeah? You know, I put him above Anderson Silva as well. I think he had a long period where he fought everyone. He was active. He didn't always have the most entertaining fights, but majority of them were. And for me, Adesanya has got big cojones, man. For him to step into the octagon with someone like Alex Pereira, someone who had beaten him previously, a guy who's a lot bigger than him, and actually knocked out Alex Pereira, who we know is an absolute monster. Like, Israel Adesanya forever will be a legend, a Hall of Famer for me. And like I said, I'm a big fan of him. And he's going up against Joe Pyfer this weekend. Now, I'm going to go with Adesanya. I think that he's just levels above Joe Pyfer. However, we know that Adesanya doesn't have the same motivation and determination that he once had when he was a champion, or even before he was a champion. You remember like the matchups he had, like, for example, against like Kelvin Gastelum, right? What a fucking fight that was, right? Which actually Gastelum actually lost to Joe Pyfer, which is interesting, but a lot later in his career, a lot later in Gastelum's career. Now, Adesanya hasn't actually won since 2023 when he did knock out Pereira. However, he's had hard fights. I don't think his heart's in it like it once was, but I do think he's going to come out and beat Joe Pyfer, probably piece him up. I don't think Joe Pyfer's that much of a great grappler, so I don't see him taking down Adesanya and dominating him there. But I think the only way he could beat him maybe perhaps is on the ground. But I do see it standing, and I do think that Adesanya will get that win against Joe Pyfer. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Now this weekend in the Israel Adesanya vs Joe Pyfer card, we have got a women's co-main event, and it's going to probably be, One minute. Is Macy Barber the champion right now? No. One sec, bro. No, Macy's not the... Mackenzie Dern is, sorry. My bad. And they're fighting Macy Barber. They're fighting in the... Is it the straw weight? Let me check one sec. UFC. For some reason, when I type in UFC on my laptop, it's very different to when I type in UFC on the phone. Or UFC on the phone actually shows me the matchups. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm not. That's why. Oh no, I am. Yeah, both on Google Chrome. No, it's fine. I just wanted to check the matchup, which is all right. It's a women's flyweight. Macy Barber. What's happened? So this weekend we do have Israel Adesanya vs Joe Pyfer, and for the co-main event, we probably have a number one contender fight. It's Alexa Grasso going up against Macy Barber. So Alexa Grasso going up against Macy Barber, and for me, what's going to be a number one contender fight in the women's flyweight division. Now, it's unfortunate because for me, none of these women will ever beat Valentina Shevchenko. Let me know if I'm right or wrong in the comment section. But for me, Valentina Shevchenko is literally levels above everyone in that division. And I don't see Alexa Grasso, who's already lost to her, or Macy Barber ever beating Valentina. But I do think it's going to be a good fight. We have a great boxer, Alexa Grasso, going up against a jiu-jitsu girl, Macy Barber. You know, Macy Barber's known for her ground game, known for her top pressure. Her striking's got a little bit better, but I think she's going to have to take down Alexa Grasso for her to get the W in this fight. Now, if Alexa Grasso keeps it standing, then I do think Alexa Grasso will go out there and get the W against Macy Barber. Now, you know, Alexa Grasso did beat Valentina Shevchenko, if you remember. She did beat her. She lost to her in the rematch, but I don't see her ever beating her again. I don't see Alexa Grasso winning this fight and then going on to beat Valentina Shevchenko for the second time. Now, let's see who's going to win this one. My pick is going to be on Macy Barber. I think she's got more to prove in that division. She hasn't not been a champion. And I do think that she's going to implement her top pressure, maybe tie up with her in a tie clinch, get her against the cage, and hopefully take her down and get that W. Okay. Khamzat v Sean Strickland is official. And me, I'm very, very happy about that. As you guys know, I didn't want to see Imavov fighting Khamzat next. Why? Because Imavov has already lost to Sean Strickland. And I think that Sean Strickland has got better ground game than Imavov. So it made no sense for Imavov to fight Khamzat next. And we already know that Sean Strickland and Khamzat, who were once training partners, you know, Khamzat came over here in Las Vegas at Extreme Couture and he was training with Sean Strickland. And, they fell out and they're very critical of each other. Now, they both have been saying that they dominated each other in training. Khamzat said he tapped him out. Strickland said he had the better of him. But we're about to find out the truth. Now, my pick is going to be Khamzat Chimaev. I don't see where Sean Strickland's going to be able to not get taken down and dominated on the ground. But we know that Sean Strickland's ground game and his wrestling's not that bad. Is he going to be able to keep it standing and get Khamzat tired and go into the later rounds and start peppering him up? Because when it comes to striking, even though I think that Khamzat is an elite striker, Sean Strickland is also an elite striker. But before the fight even happens, it's going to be epic. Imagine the press conference, guys. Imagine the press conference. It's going to be elite. It's going to be Khamzat and his goons with Sean Strickland and his pistol. And, to avoid the drama and avoid all the tables being flipped and the whole thing being fucking crushed, I think they should avoid letting Khamzat's goons in the building. And they should avoid Sean Strickland bringing his pistol in. But I'm definitely looking forward to that matchup. It's going to be elite. Guys, who's your money on? Do you think that Khamzat bars the Wolf Chimaev is going to go out there, dominate Sean Strickland, like I said, and probably tap him out? Or do you think that Sean Strickland's going to keep it standing, get Khamzat Chimaev tired, and then start to box him up in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Yes, Jays, what's happening, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Khamzat probably going to win, but Strickland will pull up a hell of a fight. Yeah, I agree. And look, the next up after that fight, and the next one up after that fight should definitely be Imavov. Yeah, the winner out of Sean Strickland and Khamzat Chimaev should be fighting Imavov. Because even though I didn't want to watch Imavov fighting for the title, let's just be honest, man, it's deserved, and he should be the next one up. Now, as you guys know, I'm a massive Volkanovski fan, the featherweight GOAT, yeah? And, he's a great chef. We kind of eat very similarly. And not just that, but people who have sparred me and have seen me fight, they actually say that I fight very, very similar to Volkanovski. Obviously, a way worse version. Guys, I'm not comparing myself to Volkanovski. Volkanovski is a GOAT, one of the best fights ever. But I'm saying my style is very similar to how he fights. Like to switch my stances. I like to catch calf kicks, keep my distance. For a guy who's 5'9", 5'10", I have very long arms. Not just that, but yeah. But yeah, so but one thing I don't agree with Volkanovski, and even though in his division they're trying to match up silly matchups, like for example putting them up against Sean Silva, Volkanovski, I disagree with you because you're trying to call for silly matchups. I don't know why the fuck. I get it. He's your boy. I get that Dan Hooker's your boy. But come on, bro. No one wants to see Charles Oliveira going up against Dan Hooker. Absolutely not. Yeah? No chance do I ever want to see that matchup. And I think the whole MMA community agree with me. We all know what would happen if Charles Oliveira fought Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker sucks on the ground. His jiu-jitsu and his ground game, his wrestling is absolutely trash. Yeah? And no, I don't think that every single person from Australia or New Zealand has got trash ground game, even though we have seen a lot of them being lacking in that department. Like Adesanya is not the greatest in that department, and we know that Dan Hooker is trash in that department. But Volkanovski went up against Islam Makhachev and was able to keep it standing for 5 rounds. And in the first fight, it was very, very close. So, yeah, guys, I do not want to see Dan Hooker going up against Charles Oliveira. We know what would happen in that matchup. Charles Oliveira would definitely submit Dan Hooker within the 1st or 2nd round. I don't see that ending any other way. Dan Hooker should not be fighting for the BMF title. In fact, I don't even think Charles Oliveira should be fighting for the BMF title. I think they should just give it to Ilia Topuria, who knocked out Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira, and just retire the title, because the last BMF fight we saw was far from a BMF fight. If you're going to fight for the BMF, you have to sit there and fight like a bad motherfucker. All right. These clips are going to be epic, right? I feel like the clips today. And look, guys, you guys watching, please keep supporting us. Keep commenting, liking all the videos. Me and the team are putting a lot of work in the background. The 2 new members who I've got with me, Matthew and Zion, absolute gems. And I'm definitely going to get to the top with these guys, man. We just hit a clip that got 225,000 views. It was me talking about Topuria and Islam Makhachev. And yeah, guys, that clip's gone viral. All our clips are doing a lot better. We're going to start implementing a schedule where I'm going to be streaming 1 or 2 times a week, dropping videos. We've got a few hit pieces coming out, a lot of value content and elevation content coming out. As you guys see here on the background, we've done the background a lot better, but it's not even finished yet. It's going to look elite by the time we're done with it. We've got a few different ornaments to put in the background, a little bit of lighting. And yeah, guys, I'm looking forward to getting to the top of the content game. However, without you guys, It's not going to be possible, man. We need you guys supporting. At the moment, you guys know that I'm collecting emails as well, because I just want to let people know when I'm going to be streaming live and dropping hit pieces and dropping videos, etc. So, yeah. Anyway, one fight which I've been calling for a long time, and I said that I wanted to see it on the American White House, the 250 Freedom card, was Corey Sandhagen going up against Sugar O'Malley. I don't want to watch Sugar O'Malley going up against Ariel Helwani's fucking twin. Yeah? Zahabi. You know, he looks exactly like Ariel Helwani, let's be honest, right? He looks like his little brother. However, look, Zahabi's a decent fighter. I don't want to take anything away from him. But the fight to make, especially at the American White House card, was Corey Sandhagen going up against Sugar O'Malley. Two elite strikers, two lanky guys who are big for that division, big bantamweights, who have been meaning to fight each other for a while. Now, I'm not sure if Sugar O'Malley wants to fight, but we know for sure that Corey does. And it would be such an elite fight, man. I do think that Corey Sandhagen would potentially win that fight because he's got a lot more better ground game and jiu-jitsu than Sugar O'Malley. But if they kept it standing, it's anyone's fight. Anyone can win that fight standing. These guys are elite strikers. In my opinion, they should be fighting each other next. And it proves to you guys what I've been saying for a while now, that the UFC matchmaking's definitely gone downhill. That was an obvious matchup to make. Corey Sandhagen, Sugar O'Malley, two great Americans, two fan favorites going up against each other at the UFC White House card. Why the fuck did they not make it? And they made it between Ariel Helwani's twin and Sugar O'Malley instead. Now, they've been talking. For a long time about Conor McGregor returning. And if you guys don't know, well, the guys who've been following me for a while, the last UFC fight, actually, no, it wasn't the last UFC fight I went to, but the last time that Conor McGregor fought in the UFC, I was sitting there, man. I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time. It was in Vegas. I was wearing my all green with my Hulk Rolex on, supporting Ireland and Conor McGregor. And, I went there and damn, man, I was there when I watched Conor McGregor snap his leg in half against Dustin Poirier. And ever since, we haven't seen the return of the Mac. Now, I don't believe we're ever going to see Conor McGregor fighting again, even though now they're saying he's definitely back this July. But for me, I won't believe that Conor McGregor will ever fight again until I see that cage behind him close. Until then, I can't believe it. And, we have delusional Kamaru Usman, who's been calling out Conor McGregor, Malteser head against Coke head, the weak knees against the cocaine. And for me, I don't want to watch that fight. We know that what Kamaru Usman would do against Conor McGregor, he's not going to stand up and fight him standing. He's going to try and take him down, implement wrestling, and it's going to be a boring fight. And what is another thing that's delusional is Kamaru Usman said that he wants meaningful fights, right? And he turned down DDP, and, he said that wasn't meaningful, and he wants to fight Islam Makhachev next. And obviously, he's not going to probably fight Islam next. Maybe he might. I don't know. Maybe the UFC might give him that fight, even though I think it makes no sense. I'm pretty sure that Kamaru's lost like 3 or 4 of his last 5 fights. Like, his record as of recent is not looking good. However, if they are gonna not make that, if they're not gonna make that fight, then Kamaru Usman should have gone and fought DDP. That was definitely a meaningful fight. Like I said, if he won that fight, he could have fought for the middleweight. Like I said, if he won that fight, he could have fought in the middleweight division against Khamzat Chimaev next. But he said he wants meaningful fights. Now he's calling out Conor McGregor. Kamaru, how the fuck is that a meaningful fight? Just be honest, bro. Just say it how it is. You want a money fight, yeah? You don't want meaningful fights. You want a money fight. You called out Islam Makhachev, which isn't realistic, turned down DDP, and now you're calling out Conor McGregor. Now, do you guys want to see Malteser Head going up against Cokehead? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Dana White got a lot of shit, right? After the White House card, Dana White got a lot of backlash. A lot of people were cussing the White House card, and they still are now. In fact, I even heard a few people saying that the Netflix card is better than the White House card, even though I highly disagree. Because, let's be honest, the Netflix card is a lot of washed up fighters, right? A lot of washed up UFC fighters, if you want me to be honest with you. However, since Dana White got a lot of backlash, you know, he's been releasing the fights because he knows that people were not happy with the Freedom White House matchups. And, you know, he released, as of recent, Raheem Sterling going up against Zalal. He released Khamzat Chimaev going up against Sean Strickland, which is obviously a massive fight. He booked JDM going up against Prates, which, again, a massive fight. That one's going to be an elite striking fight. Now, I'm going to go with Prates just because of how much bigger he is than JDM. And we know that JDM's got amazing boxing, but I do think that Prates has a little bit more power than JDM. And another fight that they booked was Volkov going up against Waldo Cortez Acosta. And, you know, we've seen Waldo Acosta, and, you know, we've seen Waldo, we've seen Waldo Cortez Acosta as of recent taking out a lot of guys in the heavyweight division. Now, is he going to be able to get on the inside of Volkov and take out Volkov? You know, Volkov's definitely a smart fighter. We're going to see. But it's going to be a good matchup. I'm going to go with Waldo on this one. But yeah, like I said, Dana White's been releasing fights after getting a lot of backlash for the White House card. WUFC here for the Mr. Cushington review. Well, I'm glad you enjoy UFC, brother, because then you can enjoy the stream all the way until we get onto Kick and we do the Cushington review, man. And, you know, majority of people will never do this shit, but we're going to be doing 3 reviews at once. We're going to be doing the Zurge, the Amalfi Lemon, and the Undisclosed. I'll probably roll a small joint of each one because, you know, I don't want to be just ending my day. You know, if I smoke 3 fat joints right now, even though they're not the strongest of strains, the Zurge is a little bit. You know, I just want to do it for the taste, let the boys in the team taste and what basically $40, $50 joints taste like. Probably more than that if you want me to be honest with you. Each jar here in Cali is $100 for 3.5. So imagine in Europe how much the shit will go for. Probably like $200-300 a jar. Insane, right? Okay. Now, you guys just saw that I spoke about the Netflix card. And, you know, I didn't have too many good things to say about it. But the one fight I'm looking forward to is Nate Diaz going up against Mike Perry. Now, my money is definitely on Mike Perry. I think that Mike Perry's probably going to knock him out. I like Nate as a person. I think he's an alright fighter. But I do think he's a little bit overrated, right? Now, he got paid $10 million for this Netflix card. And big props to him. I'm very happy to see a legend, a Hall of Famer like Nate Diaz, someone who definitely helped the UFC get to where they got to, go and get $10 million to fight Mike Perry. And even big up to Mike Perry, who's been taking a lot of damage in bare knuckle fighting, because most likely he's getting a good payout as well. And that's a fight and a matchup that I'm looking forward to. I'm not really looking forward to the Francis fight because we know what we're going to see. Francis is going to absolutely knock out Linz. Like, Linz is an UFC fighter who was a light heavyweight. He wasn't even great. And we know that Francis Ngannou is an animal. Now, Nate Diaz vs Mike Perry, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. And we're watching now Netflix trying to go up against Paramount. You know, trying to compete with the UFC. And is Netflix going to be able to keep pulling off good cards? Now, am I going to be watching the Netflix card? I am. I'm going to most likely watch it. I did think about going to watch it live because it's here in LA. I might go, but I'm not definitely settled on it, depending on how much tickets are. However, I do think that if Netflix carry on going and Jake Paul's able to be maybe like an ambassador for them and try and get more eyes, then they can compete with Paramount and the UFC. Now, you know, we know who owns both of those, right? Well, my thing's not working again. Is it unplugged and plugged? Okay. Well, we know who owns Netflix and Paramount, right? Oh, it's done it again. No. Sorry about that, guys. Netflix got too much money to spend. They good. Well, bro, we know who owns Netflix, right? And we know who owns Paramount, right? And we know who owns the UFC, right? Well, it's not working again. Is it like my speakers, maybe? No, it's not working. It's playing right now, but you guys can't hear it, right? No. Sorry, guys. We're just fixing up the soundboard quickly. Talking of, before we fix up the soundboard, what do you guys think of the background? Is there anything I need to add? You guys can see my Arsenal stuff. You guys can see my Pokemon stuff, the halls, UFC stuff. We've got JF Kennedy at the top there. We've got the UFC belt, the World Cup trophy. We've got an open work clock. We've got the FIFA 99 cover there on this side. I'm going to start adding Christianity stuff a lot more. We've got the Crusader here with the red pill hand. We've got my flat earth thing. I've got my gun. Oops, I've got my, my ting. So yeah, I'll be speaking about this in the future, but I'll let you guys know what it all is. Maybe on the next stream, what we'll do, we'll start talking about everything in the background. Nah, nothing. Is the volume for this maybe? Nah. Oh, now. What's the volume in it? Alright, cool. Alright, guys, so we know who owns Netflix, right? Paramount and the UFC. I followed you on X. Would love to see your follow back. Sounds good, bro. I'll follow you back on. Oh, okay. It's a girl. Eve. We've got a female in the chat, guys. But what I want to know is why are you not making those sandwiches? Why are you not making those sandwiches? Like, why are you not in the kitchen? I hope you're in the kitchen, Eve, while you're watching my stream and making some sandwiches. I'm only playing. I'm laughing because, as you guys know, I have very traditional views on how relationships should be, and people call me a misogynist or sexist about it, but I just talk the truth and I just say it how it is, right? And I'm only having a joke when I'm saying to her, is she in the kitchen? But I'm half joking, half joking. I do think that women should be in the kitchen majority of the time for their man. But Anyway, talking of relationships, Ethan, stop. What are you doing, buddy? Talking of relationships, as of recent, we saw the separation between Ilia Topuria and his ex-wife, right? And it proves to you guys what I've been saying for a long time, how you have to vet your woman properly, man. Like, if you're going to take a woman properly, you're going to be your girlfriend, your wife, you're going to invest time, energy, resources into her. You have to vet that woman very, very well. You need to put her through tests. You need to ask her critical questions. You need to know about her past. You need to know what kind of guy she's dated. Like, it's very, very important, all these things. And Ilia Topuria found out the hard way, right? Because not only is he going to lose a lot of money, but he's not even going to be able to be in a nuclear family with his daughter now. He's going to have to go through a process with the courts and settle it and probably lose money, lose time with his daughter. You know, all the controversy that happened as of recent. And yeah, man, choosing the mother of your children and choosing the woman that is going to be by your side for the rest of your life is probably one of the most important, if not the most important decision you're ever going to make as a man. And that's honestly why I'm still single. People always ask me, bro, you're 36. I was about to say 35. I turned 36 recently. People always asking me, you know, why are you single, bro? Why don't you have a girlfriend? And, you know, you talk so much about traditional values and the nuclear family. And, you know, it's a few different things, right? Now, you guys know in the past, I'm always red-pilled. But in the past, I wasn't so close and involved in Christianity. I've always been a Christian, right? I grew up as an Orthodox Christian. But as of recent, I've definitely been practicing more in my religion, going to church. And as of recent times, I've changed my ideology and my opinion on having multiple wives. As you guys know who watch me, I've always said I want multiple wives, maybe 3-4 women. You know, they all had to be monogamous to me. Obviously, I wasn't going to be monogamous, but I was going to have those multiple wives and have a bunch of children. But as of recent and seeing how it is played out in my life and other people's lives, I don't think that is sustainable or realistic. I think if you have one great woman who's God-fearing and hopefully has all the great traits that what you're looking for, is it really going to be worth trying to lose her to gain more women? Most likely you might lose her and sabotage that relationship in order for you to go get more relationships. And I'm in a place in my life right now where I agree with everything that I said in the past, apart from having multiple women. Now, I still want a girl who's close enough to being a virgin, if not a virgin. I still want a God-fearing woman. I still want all the traits of what I'm looking for. And unfortunately, in the West, majority of women are not traditional. They want a man who's traditional. They want a man who's a protector and a provider, but they're far from traditional themselves. A lot of these girls, they have OnlyFans or they have social media with promiscuous pictures up. They've already slept with 5 to 10 guys. And that's not the kind of woman that I want to settle down with and invest my energy and time into. Now, Ilia Topuria and even a lot of these athletes who I've seen lately, they need to vet their women even more than I do. Like, look, I have a hell load of resources. You know, I have a little bit of clout, but I have resources. I have a bright future. So even me, I need to be sure about the woman that I'm talking to. But damn, if you're like a champion, like Ilia Topuria, like even Alex Pereira, who had issues with his ex-girlfriend, and even look at Rakhmanov, who's fucking from, you know, Kyrgyzstan, and he's having issues in near enough Russia. It just shows that, guys, the more value you have as a man, the more picky and the more you have to vet your woman. Now, I tell all guys, even if you work at Target or, you know, even if you have no job and if you have no job, honestly, you shouldn't have a girlfriend. And even if you're working at Target, I still think you shouldn't have a girlfriend. But, you know, even if you're like, you've got a job that's prosperous and it's got potential of getting up the ladder and all of that, even if you have not much money behind you, you still need to be able to vet your woman properly and make sure that that is the right woman that you're going to have children with, build a family with, get married to. You know, you can't just jump into things, you know, just going off chemistry. I think going off chemistry is terrible. This guy's streams are too goated. Stick around, trust me. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'm going to keep going in. I definitely have a lot of great content that I'm going to be dropping. I've got a lot of content which is going to be elevating content, both women and men. So I'm going to be talking how to be a great wife, how to be a great husband, how to build a family, how to gain finances, how to get into how to be a looks maxing, how to be fitness maxing, Jesus maxing, IQ maxing, talking about nutrition, talking about fitness and lifting weights. We're going to be covering everything. I am literally the most diversified guy on the internet. And I know I'm not big right now and I don't have a big platform. You know, maybe on Instagram I have a decent platform, but everywhere else I haven't built it yet. But I'll tell you, I've studied the whole of the internet. Majority of content creators, if you want me to be honest with you, are lame, always lacking, reactionary guys, bottom feeders, ankle biters. Not many people come out with their own content that's original and actually trying to elevate the people. And you guys know I don't have no courses. I'm not trying to push a Patreon on you guys. You guys who do follow me know that, you know, I'm decent. I'm decently well off with finances. I don't need to try and get money from my viewers for them to be watching me. Now, does it mean that I'll never have courses? Does it mean that I'll never have systems where we'll have like, you know, groups where we'll be talking and there'll be like a paywall behind it? Eventually that will happen, right? But as of right now, I'm willing to just give my all, give you guys as much value, as much content as possible, laughs, entertainment. And I don't want nothing back. All I want you guys to do is support. Like the video, comment on the video, share videos if they align with your values and your beliefs. And yeah, guys, just go to my old videos, watch them, and yeah, comment on them, man. Okay, let's react to some of the chats, and then we'll carry on talking about the UFC. That's a fact. You don't find girls like that no more. They don't exist. All women be hoes for real. Unfortunately, that is true. Majority of women are hoes. W Kick streamer needs to get this guy verified. Yeah, man, we need to do that on Kick ASAP. We need to get myself verified on Kick because I do think Kick's going to be the platform for us in the end. These days, those requirements are near enough impossible. That's why a lot of men that think like us are single. A lot of BS influencing the women these days. We're going to keep supporting. I'm in Kick right now. Thank you. Appreciate you. Well, look, like I said before, these women are very hard to find. But in order for us to find these types of women, guys, let's not be delusional ourselves, right? Women, even average women in 2026, remember what I'm saying right now, yeah? Take it in, guys, yeah? Even average women in 2026 want to date top tier men. Your average 4, 5, 6 out of 10 women who probably doesn't have a great job, which we don't care about a woman's job, right? They still expect a man who's top tier, a man who's fit, in shape, attractive, charming, assertive, financially free, funny, well endowed, good in the bedroom. Women want everything, guys, yeah? And that's why we need to go out there and become the best version of ourselves. Otherwise, we're cooked. Now, I could be in two different situations right now. I could have been an average dude, and then if I was an average dude, the kind of woman that I want is going to be near enough impossible, just like you said. It already is hard enough to find that type of woman. But imagine if I wasn't an elite guy. Imagine if I didn't have all my shit together, then it would be a lot more harder. Now, because I have my shit together, I'm the one who always turns down women. Yeah? I always vet women, vet them very well, ask them all the critical questions, and then I let women down. But I'm in a position to do that. Now, if I was an average man, it would be the other way around. It would be them vetting me, right? It would be like a flip, and I wouldn't even be in that position where I would be vetting the woman. I wouldn't have that authority to be the one who does the vetting because I wouldn't have the dating value and the dating market value to even be able to vet women myself. I'll just be taking whatever I can get. Now, I'm in a place right now where I can go and get casual sex from near enough not any chick I want, but a lot of different beautiful women, right? I have a lot of women in my DMs, a lot of women that I've dealt with in the past hitting me up. But I'm at a place right now where I honestly don't want to have sex and I don't want to partake into no romance until I find a woman that I'm actually half sure about at least. I want to vet her, ask her the critical questions, know she comes from a good family, Christian, and then we can start talking. And then when we start talking and, we go to the next stage, then we can start talking about sex. So, guys, clip that as well. Obviously, I spoke a lot about relationships there. It looks like the woman's come out of our chat, most likely, unless she's just gone quiet. Evelyn's probably listened to a bit of my stream and she's like, this guy's a misogynist. Where's the misogynist? Sorry, guys, I definitely need to... We had a misogynist one as well, right? First page. Haram. I've got haram. It's not on there, is it? Add that one as well then, remember. Yeah, misogyny, yeah. I felt like I've seen it before. I guess it's not on here. But yeah. Eventually, when I do meet my wife, because I do believe I will meet her. I believe actually I'll meet her this year. I think I'll meet her in the next few months. I might even know her. I'm not going to lie to you. There is one girl at my church that I'm like half interested in. I don't know if she's unvaccinated or a virgin. I'm going to have to find out for myself, asking her those critical questions. But look, I believe that I'm going to meet her this year. And also, I want to change the amen thing as well. I don't like that one. All right, cool. Now, Dana, we've heard you, Uncle Fester, complaining and moaning about illegal streamers time and time again. All the way from like the ESPN days to now the Paramount days, right? But bro, you can't even fucking get it right with the legit streams. ESPN was fucking trash. It used to cut off all the fucking time. And now with Paramount, it's even fucking worse. So bro, if you can get your legal streams going, the ones that I fucking pay for out of my fucking pocket, that I work hard for my fucking money, then shut the fuck up about illegal streaming. Shut the fuck up, Uncle Fester, because you can't even get the legal streams right. Now, when you get the legal streams right, then you can start talking shit about the illegal streamers. Until then, shut the fuck up. Anyway. Yeah. Now, we have a UFC card in Perth coming up, and I'm fuming, man. You know why I'm fuming, right? Why the fuck is Tai Tuivasa still fighting, man? I'm hoping like this is his last fight ever. And, I know he's not that old, but he's washed, man. He looks like Belly's gonna get ya. Like, bro, the guy, he just looks like... He looks like the most unathletic UFC fighter probably ever. Alongside with that guy who fought like a couple weeks ago who had like the flappy tits, right? That American guy, I forgot his fucking name. But anyway, Tai Tuivasa is fighting a guy called Sean Sharaf at the moment in Perth. And yeah, man, even if Tai Tuivasa knocks him out, he has to be released. I don't want to see him fighting. I think there's a lot of guys that should have been released sooner than a few of the other guys got released. And Tai Tuivasa is one of them. In fact, they put Tai Tuivasa in the fucking heavyweight rankings again. How the fuck does that make sense? And it goes from bad to worse because Tai Tuivasa shouldn't be in the UFC. But what about the Taffa brothers? Junior Taffa and his other brother Taffa. Come on, bro. How the fuck are they still in the UFC? And yeah, Junior Taffa is fighting in Perth as well. Do not want to see these guys fighting again, man. Low level, guys in the fucking heavy divisions that look out of shape, look like they don't fucking train and just turn up for fights. Absolutely not. Not interested. A fight I am looking forward to in Perth is Salkid. Salkid, sorry. A fight I am looking at, a fight that I am looking forward to at UFC Perth is Salkid going up against Benil Dariush. You know, we've got a veteran in Dariush who's kind of like a gatekeeper in that division. Definitely high levels, you know. His ground game and his jiu-jitsu is good. And, you know, his striking's all right. But, yeah, he's going up against an up-and-coming Australian beast. You know, I've been high on Salkid for a while now, and I do think that he has got a lot of potential and he's a problem for the lightweight division. So I'm definitely looking forward to that matchup. I'm going to go with Salkid on this one. I think he's probably going to knock out Benil Dariush. But, you know, I do like Dariush. He's my fellow Christian. And, you know, he does train at my local gym that I train at, Gracie Barra. So, yeah, I do, even though I kind of want Dariush to win, I do think that Salkid is going to win. Now, you guys saw this Dean character, right? He's like a streamer. He's an Xboxer. And he went round. He's been like, he got slapped by that cuck, like that Larry Wills guy. And then he got smacked up by, was it like, it was someone's manager or someone's security guard. I think it might have been Rampage Jackson's manager. And yeah, he got smacked up by Rampage Jackson's manager. He got slapped by the cuck Larry Wills. And now it's getting even worse, man, because he's getting rude to Bobby Green. And, you know, I know Bobby doesn't have no chance of ever being a champion in the UFC, but let me tell you something about Bobby Green. Bobby Green, you can tell, is a great fighter on the streets. And not just on the streets, but when it comes to his boxing, hands down, head movement, footwork, Bobby Green is elite. Yeah? He's a great fighter. And let me tell you something. What is this error shit? Never seen it ever do that. 2 calls and both said error. That's it. All right, so if Bobby Green turned around and really gave Dean what he deserved, it would have been a lot worse than Rampage Jackson's manager's punch and a lot worse than Larry Wills' cuck slap. Bobby Green would have left him sleeping on the ground, man. And this Dean guy, I don't know if he's got like a death wish or whatever it is. It's probably just chasing clout. But yeah, man, Bobby Green, you're lucky Bobby Green didn't knock you out. Talking of Bobby Green, he has been booked for a great matchup. Bobby Green going up against Jeremy Stephens. Who the fuck is that guy? You remember that? That's who Jeremy Stephens is. And, you know, Jeremy Stephens is a good fighter. We saw him going up against Mike Perry in bare knuckle fighting as of recent. And now he's fighting in the UFC again. And, yeah, man, he's going to go up against Bobby Green. And that's one guy who's like a brute. I feel like Jeremy Stephens is like a tough guy. And he's going up against someone like Bobby Green, who is a good elite boxer. And I'm looking forward to that matchup. And yeah, it's going to be the battle of veterans. You know what I wanted to ask? I wanted to ask a few of the guys in the chat. So Andreas and Jose Luis Blanco. Andreas, first of all, are the women better in Cyprus compared to the West? What are the women like in Cyprus, bro? Like, are they completely cooked like the women in the West? Or is there some sort of chance? Like, say, for example, I came over to Cyprus and I started looking for like a village girl somewhere, or, obviously, like, I would say like in Cyprus, I'll definitely be like a 0.001% man. Would it be easy for me to go out there and find a great Cypriot woman? Happy Greek independence. Oh, thank you, Mike. I didn't even know it was, but yeah, big up to my Greeks on Happy Greek Independence Day. So yeah, Andreas, what are the women like in Cyprus? Is it better than the West? And for Jose Luis Blanco, the same question, but in Finland. Now, I spoke before about MVP being violated by the UFC. But shall I tell you who gets violated the most in the UFC? And no, it's not Bryce Mitchell for telling the truth, even though Bryce does as well. And, Bryce is a real one. But it's the Palestinian. Yeah. It is Bilal Muhammad. And for some reason, and I know it's because he's Palestinian. Well, come on, we know that, right? For some reason, the UFC doesn't like him. Dana's hated him for a while, and they hated him becoming a champion. And then after he became champion, they gave him tough matchups, which, it's always going to be tough as a champion. But even since he's not been a champion, they've given him matchups which they're trying to just get him to go back down the rankings and, being out of the UFC forever. They don't want to see that Palestinian flag being brought to the octagon. And we know why, right? Because the people that own the UFC, Ari Emanuel, the people that own Paramount, David Ellison. Now we know for a fact they don't like him because, he's fighting on the Apex next. And, 2 fights ago, he was a UFC welterweight champion. And all of a sudden, they're putting him at the Apex to fight Gabriel Bonfim, who's a beast, only lost once, right? And you know why they're doing that? They're doing that because they want to ruin Bilal Muhammad. They don't like him. They don't like Palestine. We know that Israelis don't value Palestinian life. And actually no life outside of their own. And it's very evident to see that the UFC is definitely, what's the word? They definitely have the UFC definitely has favoritism with all their fighters. We know. And I'll do in the future, what I'll do is I'll do a rankings and a tier list within all of Dana White's favorite fighters to his least favorite fighters. And as for Bilal Muhammad, honestly, the next fight for Bilal Muhammad, it should have been Kamaru Usman. That should have been the next fight. We already know there's a lot of history between them. Apparently, Bilal Muhammad slapped Kamaru Usman on Usman's podcast. Two guys that are kind of like not washed up, but yeah, kind of like, on the way out, in my opinion. I don't think either of those guys will ever be a champion again, but they both have been champions. So I think that should have been the next matchup. You think Dana is cracking Nina Drama? If you want me to be honest with you, I think a few of the guys from the UFC have fucked Nina Drama, in my opinion, allegedly, right? I think Dana most likely has. I think Alex Pereira definitely has. I don't think Sean Strickland, because he's got a wife and she probably would have stayed on top of him, knowing that he hanged out with Nina Drama. And probably Arman Tsarukyan as well. Arman Tsarukyan, Alex Pereira, and Dana White, if I found out that they smashed Nina Drama, I would not be surprised at all. And I know a lot of you guys who are cocks and beta males are probably like, oh, bro, she's got a man. Stop hating on the girl. Get the fuck out of here, man. We know how women get up up the ladder, and they use a lot of their sexuality. She's not that interesting. She doesn't know that much about MMA. And she probably got her foot through the door from Dana White, which we saw. He was pushing her, right? And we also know that her man's a top cock. He's always behind the cameras. He allows her to flirt with other men and all these like crazy jokes. And, you know, even with Arman Tarikan recently, she was flirting with him. And definitely she's cracked at least one of those three guys. Let me know in the comment section if you guys agree or disagree with me. Finland is little America. Most of the girls are TikTok brained, but I bet you go to smaller villages, you'll find some with real value still. Okay. Yeah, man. Like, even in America, you probably can find good women, but you're going to have to go into the sticks. You're going to have to go to the middle of nowhere, maybe in Texas or like, you know, the middle of nowhere in Arizona or maybe Alabama or Kentucky or some one of these kind of places and find like a good traditional racist chick. And when I mean racist, you know, like, you know, just sees the patterns, you know, sees the patterns. Not with the she doesn't necessarily have to be racist, but I've seen a pattern with girls who are more racist tend to be more traditional. And girls who are like, you know, against that, you know, girls who are like, oh, you're homophobic, you're misogynist, you're racist. These women tend to be a lot more liberal. Okay. It's a long stream today, right? We're hitting 2 hours and we haven't even come off UFC yet, and we've still got quite a bit more to do, guys. We're probably going to be here for at least another hour or two, so strap up tight. And yeah, conservative women are the best, 100%, man. Liberal women tend to be whores anyway. That's just the truth. Not all of them, but majority. I see like 10-year-old girls wearing a whole load of makeup, not happy how the world is turning out. Yeah, man. It's cooked, bro. The women are cooked. And let me tell you guys, and clip this, guys. And let me tell you, the only way that we're going to get women going back to being traditional, not being whores and actually, you know, looking after their reputation and not giving out their pussy to every Tom, Dick and Harry is shame. That's the only way that women respond well to. If women realize that men don't want them no more because they're whores, or men shame them, especially the kind of men that they like, that's the only way we're going to get women to go and back to being traditional women and being good housewives and being good mothers, etc. Other than that, nothing else really works. Like, you know, we've got to a point right now where women have the freedom of men, but the accountability of a child. Do you get what I'm saying? So they don't want to be accountable for nothing, but they want the freedom of the man, yeah? But they don't want to put nothing into society because we know that women are also 3/4 of the debt. We also know that women right now are not procreating. More than 50% of women over 30 haven't had a child. You know, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good in the West, guys. It's not looking good. Now, a couple weeks ago, we did have a decent UFC card. No, actually, was that? No. Did Harry Hardwick fight on the UFC? Yeah, that was. Let me check. I'm sure that was the UFC London card. Because he's a British guy. I'm pretty sure it was. UFC. No, it was the week before. I was right. It was the week before. It was on the Lemos vs Robertson card. The Josh Emmett vs Kevin Valesha, sorry. Yeah, that's right. So, a couple weeks ago in the UFC, we saw the Moroccan up-and-coming guy, Marwan Marwan Rahiki, and he went up against my fellow Brit, Harry Hardwick. And let me tell you, Harry Hardwick, we got to change his fucking nickname, man. It has to be Harry Hardhead Hardwick, because this guy was getting fucking damaged. In fact, the fight ended because I think it was in like the last round, it was the last round. He didn't come out because he had a broken jaw. And this guy was getting peppered up, man. This guy, Marwan Rahiki, he's definitely going to be a problem in that division. Definitely an elite striker and a great fighter. And yeah, I agree with Michael Bisping. We definitely need to change Harry Hardwick's nickname to Harry Hardhead Hardwick. And yeah, the way he stayed standing, unbelievable. And even the UFC was impressed, and he said that they're definitely going to give him another matchup in the UFC. Keep yawning, man. I don't know why. I feel tired. Okay. I'll tell you someone that I'm very high on at the moment. Up and coming featherweight guy, young Argentine, Kevin Vallejos. And yeah, you know, we saw him fight recently. We saw him going up against the veteran Bobby Emmett. And damn, did he implement a beating on Bobby Emmett, man? Bobby Emmett? Yeah. Bobby Emmett, right? Yeah. Josh Emmett, fucking Bobby Emmett. Josh Emmett, that's right. Yeah, Bobby Green. And let me tell you someone, sorry guys, sometimes I'm gonna redo like the like what I'm being saying, just so we can get the clips out. I know right now there's not many of us. In the future, I won't be doing this, obviously. I'll be like prioritizing the stream over the clips. But right now, until we're big enough, we're gonna be prioritizing clips over the stream. So let me tell you guys who I'm definitely high on right now. Featherweight problem, yeah? Up and coming guy, Argentine beast, 24-year-old Kevin Vallejos. And let me tell you something about this guy, man. He's like a little duplicate of Ilia Topuria. A couple weeks ago, we saw him going up against Josh Emmett, a veteran, someone with great boxing. And he implemented a beating on him, man. Damaged him up, made him curl up. And Kevin Vallejos, I think this guy's going to be a real problem for the featherweight division. In fact, I think they need to definitely get him some serious matchups going and advance him in that division, because he's going to be a problem, and he has got star ability. Like, you know, his talking's not that great and all of that, but the way he fights and the fact that he's from South America, and it's, you know, it's Argentina, which we haven't had that many Argentinian fighters. You know, I know Ponzinibbio's from there, but in general, we don't have a lot of fighters from Argentina coming out. So yeah, man, definitely looking forward to that. And Kevin is an absolute problem. Dominic Cruz was right about Keith Peterson. And I know they kind of squashed their beef recently at the Josh Emmett and the Kevin Vallejos card. However, Keith Peterson is definitely smoking that good shit or drinking too much alcohol, because that fight which he refereed between Amanda Lemos and Gillian Robertson, how many times did Lemos hit Gillian Robertson on the back of the head? Fucking a lot of times, man. Over and over again. But it was great to see Gillian Robertson go out there and get the W. She is an old schooler who, you know, she had a little bit of a career like Charles Oliveira, where, you know, she didn't have too much potential at the beginning, but she worked hard. She went back to the gym and she kept working and getting better. And to the point now where I think she should be the next one up to fight Mackenzie Dern for the strawweight title, man. Gillian Robertson is a problem in her division. I think she's all around a great fighter, definitely amazing on the ground. And I know she wasn't able to stop Amanda Lemos, but for me, it was a clear win. And I definitely want to see that next fight between Gillian Robertson and Mackenzie Dern for the strawweight women's title. And you know what? I'm happy that the. And you know what? I'm happy that the. And you know what? I'm happy that the White House card is trash. Yeah? Because let's be honest. Majority of the guys watching it live are going to be from the Epstein list, right? And also, after Trump took us further into recession and, you know, literally traited us and turned his back against us for the small hats, then you know what? He deserves the trash card he fucking got. Fuck him. Yeah? Take that. Take that fucking trash card. Sit there with your small hat friends and, you know, your hardcore Zionists and the Epstein list and watch the fucking White House card. And I don't give a fuck because even in that card, we're going to see Americans going down, man. And you know, you guys know I'm an American patriot. But I don't know what the fuck the UFC is doing, but they gave a lot of the Americans unfavorable matchups. And yeah, Dana White, you deserve the trash card you got because, like I said, you gave us up for the small hats. You turned your back against us and we're deeper into recession. Fucking oil's hitting a crazy, like, what's it hitting? Like above $100 per... Yeah, it's crazy right now, guys. So, yeah, man. And Trump is not just a retard because he's taken us into war for, you know, nothing that benefits America and, you know, who it benefits. But also he's a retard because recently he come out on an interview with Jake Paul and he said that he wants to see Jake Paul fighting Khabib in an MMA fight. Really? Really? He wants to see Jake Paul fighting Khabib in an MMA match. Guys, for everyone who actually understands fighting, and clearly Trump doesn't, we all know that if Khabib fought Jake Paul literally a million times in MMA, he would lose a million times in MMA. There would be no chance. I would go as far as saying that even Khabib would even beat him in a boxing match. But all right, cool. Let's say a boxing match would be tough. It would be a close match, right? The fact that he said that he wants to see Jake Paul fighting him in MMA, like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're stupid. You're stupid, Trump. And, yeah, man. He even turned around and said that he wanted to see Jake Paul being a politician for America in the future. As if, like, Jake Paul's this high IQ guy. And, you know, he has great political takes. Let's be honest. Jake Paul just sucks up to Trump and just agrees with him with anything he says. He doesn't have his own point of view or his own opinions. And people like that absolutely should never be involved in politics. Unless you just want to, you know, cuck for them boys. All right, cool. Ethan, get in your bed. Get in your bed, buddy. Get in your bed. In your bed. We ain't finished yet. It's funny. As soon as Ethan gets to the office, he just wants to leave as quick as possible. Yeah, Jake Paul for office is crazy. Crazy. You know what? I haven't drank coffee in probably around like 9 years now, 8 years. But I think I'm going to start drinking like some good grade coffee maybe in the future, especially if I'm going to be streaming for long hours. Because there's something about streaming which kind of takes it out of you compared to, like, I can sit there and work 10 hours straight on other stuff. But whenever I'm streaming, I think with streaming, you need to concentrate more. You need to give your all into things. So I think we might have to be drinking coffee in the future. Now, not sure if you guys watch Brand Risk. It is, I'm not sure if you guys watch Brand Risk, but it is Aiden Ross's, like, you know, up and coming fighting promotion that he's doing between influencers. And as of recent, we saw Blueface going up against some, you know, he's like some young nutty professor guy called Chibu. I didn't even know who he was. But let me tell you, he did his fucking goddamn thing, and he beat Blueface, man. And he definitely beat him. Like, I agree with the judges. I think that Chibu won. I think he was more of the aggressor. He landed more of the important punches. And it's crazy to see someone like Blueface, who is in shape, and, you know, he's been in jail for a while, where, you know, I would think he would be working on his, at least press-ups and maybe a little bit of sparring. But yeah, Chibu, this young, nutty professor-looking guy, he went out there and he did his thing against Blueface. Now, not only was that fight on, but we also saw Gypsy Crusader, who is someone that I definitely like. You know, we have a lot of the same viewpoints. I think he's fucking incredibly funny. And, you know, my fellow, you know, I'm not going to say the word actually, but, you know, you guys kind of get the... You lot kind of get the... And yeah, Gypsy Crusader went up against a guy called Super Hot Fire, which I never heard of Super Hot Fire either before. But he's a guy from the meme from like 10, 15 years ago, where like he's like, oh, like, and him and his boys go back, and yeah, he's the meme guy basically. And he went up against Gypsy Crusader, and it's funny to me because Whack 100, who's a moron, and Aiden Ross, who's another moron, you know, the FBA and the Jew combined went together and agreed that Gypsy Crusader lost the fight. Now, there's nowhere on this planet where anyone who understands fighting would have ever said that Gypsy Crusader lost that fight. In fact, to me, he won every single round. Maybe the last round you could have said was tight, but Gypsy Crusader won that fight. You know, was I impressed by the Gypsy Crusader? He was all right. For someone who's fought professionally before, even though he's got a trash record of 7-7, or 8-7 now, you know, I wasn't so much impressed with his fighting as much as I'm impressed with his talking. However, he definitely won that fight. And for anyone who thinks that, you know, oh, it's like it's because he's white and that's why they... Bro, shut the fuck up. The whole arena was full of black people, one. It's run by a Jew, too. Yeah? And they were literally, every time that Super Hot was even throwing a punch, not even landing a punch, the whole crowd was like, oh. They weren't even doing nothing. And you know what? Thank God we had judges, like real official judges, the same judges that judge the UFC. And, you know, at the end of the fight, Aiden Ross, you know, came out. Jew. And he turned around and said, you know what, after watching the fight and all of that, I kind of, you know, I'll take it back what I said, and maybe like Gypsy Crusader did win the fight. Whack 100 didn't come out and apologize or say anything because, you know, we all know what FBAs are like. You know, majority of FBAs and, you know, people don't know foundational black Americans, they've got this victimhood over their shoulders all the time. You know, the white man's oppressing them. The only reason they can't be successful is because they foundational black Americans. They don't even like Caribbeans or Africans. In fact, as of recent, I've seen a pattern, and it's definitely getting a lot more popular, where black Americans will call Africans or Caribbeans tethers, and they always got things to say negatively about them. It's so retarded. I can't actually believe it. Like, you know, we've even had girls on the podcast say the same. We had a girl on the podcast turn around and say that Akon wasn't black and he's a tether and he's not real black. And to them, that the only people that are black are people that are come from slavery, basically. People that are here in America, foundational black Americans, and Africans and Caribbeans are not black, which couldn't be further from the truth and so retarded, right? And these people are the most racist to Caribbeans and Africans as well. They hate them. Even if you watch Israelites, like a lot of them debate David Cooley, and they don't like people like the Hodge twins and stuff. Which, you know, you guys know, majority of the creators I listen to are black. You know, they're black either whether they're black Americans or they're Caribbean or African, but they're black conservative creators. And even those guys have been saying the same thing. Like, we get called tethers by these FBAs, and, you know, yeah, man, it just showed in that whole brand risk situation, because the Gypsy Crusader clearly won that fight. So the static hype is real in California. I see a whole lot of companies releasing their bricks. Yeah, man. Everyone's talking about static here. A lot of people are moving static here. Personally, I don't think it's that great. I think it's a little bit overrated. But yeah, static has got a good name right now as a product, and a lot of people are buying it. I told you that that Evelyn girl was gonna leave. I don't know why she's even in here, honestly. Why she even joined here? She probably thought I was like semi-attractive, and then she come in here and she realized, yeah, this guy he hates women. Yeah, I probably wouldn't date her anyway. Anyway, another person who's been gaslighting recently is Charles Oliveira. He's been calling people jealous because of people being critical of his BMF performance. Like, gee, these are fans. And even if they are fighters, no one is jealous of you, bro. In fact, majority of people have a lot of good things to say about you, Charles Oliveira. But the truth is the truth. Your last fight, your BMF fight against Max Holloway, was fucking trash. Now, if you're going to implement ground game, you got to take him to ground, inflict damage, or choke him out. You did none of those things. It was boring. It wasn't a BMF fight. I told you guys before, it should be retired to Ilia Topuria, the guy that knocked both of you guys out. And now it's gotten even worse because Mauricio Rufy was critical of the fight. And your bitch, who you should tell to shut the fuck up. I don't know why women get involved in any men's business. Whenever men are talking amongst each other, women need to just shut the fuck up. Disappear. Go ghost. Yeah? But yeah. Charles Oliveira's wife, girlfriend, whatever she is, who looks like a red flag, if you want me to be honest with you, she looks like a typical whore. She come out and she started going up against Mauricio Rufy, saying he's got more submissions than you've got fights, and trying to get at him. And Mauricio Rufy apologized and said he didn't want to come across like that, and he has respect for Charles Oliveira. But look, that situation could have been amongst men, and it would have been sorted out, and it would have been fine. Why the fuck is this dumb Brazilian bitch getting involved? And let me tell you, Brazilian women are probably some of the worst women in the world. Yes, I've dated them. I would say higher than 90% of Brazilian women are whores. They're not good wives. They don't make for good girlfriends. They're not traditional at all. And, Brazil is kind of a country which is a very progressive country where they think that men and women are equal. And, the men are kind of maggot-fied, beginning with an F. You know what I wanted to say. So, anyway, moving on from UFC, man. Moving on from UFC. We're going to move on from UFC. We've got a few more things to go through. We've got a lot of red pill stuff to respond to. And from there, we're going to respond to the red pill stuff. And then we're going to go into politics slightly, talk about the Iran and the USA ceasefire, the power out in Cuba. And then after that, we're going to end it with Mr. Cushington reviews on Twitch. She's here to stay, yeah? Is she here? Nah, she ain't here. You lot are like, she's here to stay. She ain't here. Unless, can you lot see her in the chat? Yeah, nah, she ain't here, bro. Bro, listen. The truth is, women don't like to take any accountability, man. Whenever, anytime women hear men being critical of them, unless it's coming from their man, someone that benefits them or they adore, respect, yeah, it's never going to be good, man. Like, the only women you can really truly give advice to that are going to take you seriously is going to be your wife, your girlfriend, your sister, or your mother. Everyone else, absolutely not. Or your daughter, obviously, as well. Now, Joe Kent steps down. You guys don't know who Joe Kent is? Joe Kent was the director of the USA for counterterrorism. And he's getting investigated right now because he came out and said that we're going to war for Israel and it doesn't benefit us and there's no reason for us to go to war with Iran. And they implement no threats to us. Obviously, they're so far away from us, right? Now, he's getting investigated right now. And he's not the only one getting investigated, but so is Tucker Carlson. But it's wild to me how Joe Kent and Tucker Carlson, who are clearly American first guys, yeah, guys who actually care about the country, they're getting investigated before anyone from the Epstein list is. Make it make sense, man. Yeah, and we pretty much know why, right? And it's because you know? No, it's not playing. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. They know we run the banks. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. They know we pimp the skanks. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. They know we start the wars. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. They now hate us even more. Like Lucas Gage smashes it with these songs, man. There's a new one that come out actually. We need to get on that one as well. He's always got bangers. It's very hard to be a Jew today. Everyone's always got something mean to say. They make fun of my nose every night. Mariana, I'll message you on X. Where's all these chicks coming from, man? This is some setup. This is some setup. Well, look, if girls are ever going to hit me up, just know, virgins, Christians, cook, clean, shut the fuck up. Yeah, those are the traits that I look for in women. All right, cool. Let's go to the next off. So, let me play you something quickly, guys. So, I don't know if you guys know who Akash Singh is. Okay, Akash Singh, wife, Myron Gaines.
Investing in your wife is the biggest ROI that you'll ever have, because investing in your...
All right, so guys, if you don't know who Akash Singh is, you know, the flagrant pope. If you guys don't know who Akash Singh is, you guys probably familiar with Andrew Schultz, the flagrant podcast. Is he like, you know, is his second guy, Akash Singh, little small Indian guy, Pajit, you know, Onion Barji. And this guy come out and he basically clowned Myron for not wanting to date black women, right? Obviously he's black himself, and he said that he's a corny ass motherfucker for not wanting to date black women. And he did this face to face, which at least he did it face to face. And then we happen to find out that this is Akash Singh's wife. Now I'm gonna play you guys the clip quickly, and then we'll respond to it. So.
Is the biggest ROI that you'll ever have, because when you treat your wife like a princess, you spoil her, she gets into this divine feminine energy. In return, she starts taking care of you.
You literally admitted that you don't cook or clean. What are you talking about take care of you? All she had to do was shut the fuck up and not embarrass her guy. But since she's delusional and thinks that she's important, she feels the need, let me just go ahead and do a podcast and air out my fucking dumbass Jeep boyfriend.
Dumbass Jeep boyfriend. That's not even the clip I was looking for. One sec. Schultz, most popular, is probably going to be somewhere here.
If you're gonna commit a crime, don't commit it in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, Metropolitan Police.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to find the clip.
Hey, Akash, Andrew Schultz, the whole flagrant staff, shut the fuck up forever. This interview right here.
Akash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
I looked into what you guys are about, and a lot of the shit is just childish.
It aged fucking perfectly. This dude was like a virgin before he got married, trying to lecture me on how to fucking deal with females. And then 3 years later, this stupid fucking dothead his wife is being a whore all over fucking Instagram, TikTok, dragging his name through the mud to do so.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my pussy and I had a roster of...
Guys, the reason I stopped that is because I need to show you guys, like, where's the fucking video, man? Like, welcome, my name's Akash Singh, like, oh yeah, I think.
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period.
Akash only dates brown. Akash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
So
Indian
this
woman
is
that was
like
important to
loyal
me.
through and through.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches. Okay, I have two butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore.
Oh my God.
And I remember, what kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
I just think my imagination is vibration enough. I'm just thinking of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I could never do that.
Yeah.
And so I was using you and your husband split finances, and I'm gonna be really fucking honest.
I don't.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
First of all, that's a fucking red flag. Any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a fucking red flag. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money.
My money!
I never watched that show, but like he's on my hall pass list.
Oh yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler.
Do you know why I think I have like a good marriage? I think it's because my husband's never here.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I've been getting a lot of comments that I'm using my husband for clout, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. What's wrong with that?
Holy shit, bro. That is embarrassing. And this guy had the fucking nerve to talk shit to me all this time? Let's get into his girl.
But yeah, guys, this is why, as a man, if you are a virgin, it most likely is going to bite you in your butt. And that's why I turn around to a lot of my Christian friends and try and give them advice. Because a lot of these Christian guys, like, for example, a lot of the guys at my church, you could tell they don't have much experience with women. They don't understand female nature. And the Akash thing just proved that something that a lot of Christian guys could make the same mistake in doing. And that's going and wifing up a whore. And, you know, in Christianity, maybe you might think, you know, she's repented and, you know, she's a different woman. That's all trash as well, because you can forgive someone, but you don't have to wifey them and take them seriously, right? But, you know, even Akash, who's not a Christian, you know, Pajit and stuff, but, you know, he wifeyed up some blatant whore, right? And he thought she was a virgin. You actually hear with the interview that Andrew Schultz had with Myron Gaines, he turns around and says that he's only been with one woman and vice versa. She's only been with one man and they both lost their virginity to each other. And, you know, we happen to find out couldn't be further from the truth. Akash was most likely a virgin. Let's be honest. Look at him. He looks like a little onion bargee. You know, it doesn't look like he has a lot of like dating value. So he's probably not going to get a lot of women. And we also know that Indian women are probably the biggest traitors to their own men. Pajitas do not like Pajits. Like, I would say out of all the countries, they're the ones who turn against their own men the most, right? And it's because India's a progressive country. It's pretty liberal. They think women and men are equal. And yeah, it's very evident to see, man. Like, you know, this guy wifeyed up a whore thinking she's a virgin. And she's out there talking about wanting to have orgies with other people, talking about her friend's man having a 10-inch dick, talking about having a hoe pass and fucking celebrities, talking about waking up with a sore butthole. Like, this is incredible. And then the worst on top of it is her coming out saying that all the people that are saying negative things about her are fucking misogynists or bots. Like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? You literally embarrassed your man across the whole internet. His whole reputation is tarnished because of you. He went from a successful comedian to just any fucking Jeet. He's just any deodorant dodger now. Like, he's a nobody. No one gives a fuck about him. He's a laughing stock. Like, and I've even heard when he goes and does fucking tours and does comedy shows that people are bringing up this shit at his workplace. It is not looking good, man. And look, that's why the red pill space, the manosphere, is the truth. Now, do I agree with everything in the red pill space and the manosphere? No, not everything, but the guidelines of everything are definitely helpful to the young men out there. So, yeah, man, that's my take on that one. 7-11 on the dot, bro. Right in the middle of the forehead. Fucking hell, man. But, and that's what leads me to Louis Theroux. And that's what leads me to Louis Theroux, right? And, he done a Manosphere hit piece. He done a hit piece on Sneeko, Myron Gaines, Justin Wooler, and HS Tiki Toki, right? And, he tried to make out the red pill space and the manosphere for being toxic and hating women and all of that. But the truth is, the red pill is just the truth. And red pill isn't just about women, right? The manosphere isn't just about women and understanding female nature and dating. It's also about politics. It's all about self-improvement in yourself. It's all about fitness. It's everything. It's everything within the truth, right? So the fact that Louis Theroux, who we know is a liberal progressive guy in the UK, who probably gets cucked out by his wife, just like Piers Morgan, come out and made a hit piece on all of these guys. And not only did he make a hit piece, but he edited it in a way where he wasn't real about it. He was very manipulative, and he changed all the edits and made it look like, people were backing down from their truths and what they were saying and all of that. And Louis Theroux is popular for doing this. In fact, we saw Vice do the same thing with Andrew Tate, right? And Louis Theroux, who worked for the BBC, who are well-known nonces, paedophiles, come out and made this hit piece on the manosphere. Now, remember, these guys, they don't turn around and say anything that's going to help. Ethan, you're dreaming, buddy, and we're on stream. Now, none of these people who do hit pieces on the red pill space, on the manosphere, ever come out with any content that's ever going to help or improve the young men. In fact, they only not cuck, but what's the word I'm looking for? They only thing to women. They only brain fart. Not simp, but they only like when you're making something for a specific audience. Anyway, yeah, that's it. These guys, they only cater to women. Like, like we live in a gynocentric world right now where women can't do no wrong. They don't want to take accountability, and it's all men, right? And obviously the red pill space does keep women accountable. And everything that Myron Gaines says, everything that Justin Wooler talks about, like 99.9% of it is the fucking truth. And let me tell you guys something. These guys have actually helped improve young men, actually made young men rich, made young men fit. Guys like Louis Theroux and guys like Piers Morgan, they're the exact opposite. In fact, do you want to see a clip of Piers Morgan and HS Tiki Toki going back and forth? Let's have a look at it, because yeah, man, it's crazy the hit piece they did, labeled people as homophobic, misogynist, anti-Semitic. And yeah, Louis Theroux was trying to make out that Myron Gaines and Sneeko were anti-Semitic. But come to find out, what do you think Louis Theroux is?
Every single time.
Yeah, Louis Theroux absolutely is every single fucking time, man. Every single fucking time. Yeah, every single fucking time. It's always a Jew. Anyway. So, yeah, man, fuck Louis Theroux. Right now, he's getting peppered up by Myron anyway. Myron did a hit piece back on him, and he's getting a lot of good views. I suggest people go out there and watch it. And right now, we're going to... so it's crazy to me, like, Louis Theroux has a bone to pick with all these red pill guys, right? Myron, Sneeko, Justin Waller, HS Tiki Toki, calling them misogynist, racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic. However, he doesn't mention nothing about degeneracy. He doesn't mention OnlyFans. He doesn't mention pornography. In fact, when Myron turned up and said that it's the Jews that control all of these things, yeah, Louis Theroux had nothing to say. Nothing. Yeah? He doesn't talk about all the innocent children, all the innocent people that died because of the genocide that happened in the last few years with Palestine. Nah, doesn't want to mention that. Wants to ignore that, right? Whatever benefits him. And it's very evident to see at this point, Louis Theroux, he makes money and pays his family bills from lying and being manipulative in hit pieces. Anyway, we're going to move on from him. All right, cool. Here is a interview between HS Tiki Toki and Piers Morgan.
Why don't you check the 27 references to me in the files?
Why are you in the files, sir? Very close. Why are you in the files?
Why don't you check the 27 references to me in the files?
Why are you in the files, sir? Very close to these types of people.
Go and check. And all your followers, you can. The great thing about the Epstein files, you can put somebody's name in, and you
like to compare me to Tate and Myron and everyone else. So,
Harrison,
because my name is close to them in the Manosphere. But if I compare you to Epstein and Maxwell, you have a clear problem with it, sir. You compare me to Myron and all the others in this homophobic, misogynistic, whatever world. I'm comparing you to Epstein then, because you're in his files.
Harrison.
Exactly.
You're making yourself look an even bigger idiot than you did on the Netflix show.
Oh, really? Really?
Yes.
To people like you, sir, I don't mind that. You make yourself look like an idiot every single day. Why are you in the files?
It's the clip.
Why don't you check the 27 references to me in the files?
Why are you in the files, sir? Very.
All right,
What would you tell a man who can scroll for hours but can't work for 10 minutes and hates himself for it every night?
Never have I seen Piers Morgan. He had a whole panel of...
In this picture here, posted a snap.
All I wanted to do was have a nice conversation.
There, okay? Here.
And how corrupt they are.
Yeah.
And I want every single...
Children is up to me.
Of course.
Okay?
Of course.
I don't agree with...
Keep doing this, you'll make yourself look very stupid.
Are you sure, Piers?
That I've never been to Jeffrey Epstein's island, I'm 100% positive. I never met the man, never went to his island. I met Ghislaine Maxwell for 5 minutes at a book launch. If you've got any supplementary
mentioned a lot of times.
No
mentioned
problem.
a lot of times in there, sir.
I have no problem. You're not, I don't think, if I say this very respectfully, I don't think you're very well informed.
Obviously, being named in the files is one thing, but wrongdoing it is another thing. And he's met Maxwell. He's literally been pictured with her as well. And it was Andrew Tate before that had already brought this up, saying that he needs to be investigated, regardless if he's innocent or guilty.
And how corrupt they are.
Yeah.
And I want every single person inside...
Oh, bro.
Hashtag you missed the spot. Hashtag not...
Streaming at the same time, and it is kids and other demographic of people watching it. He's bound to bring up things that are personal about Piers Morgan, and he ends up...
As soon as you're away,
all right,
who's this?
Assumed of Piers Morgan over the years. I've ever seen him
Bro, what's all this fucking Festify shit, man? Fuck off.
Why he doesn't have the same...
Fuck your channel. I want to just find the clip, bro. Fucking hell. What are you fucking chatting shit? Bro, where the fuck is the bit? This is fucking... Alright, one second.
I couldn't care less about your silly little insults. It's like a 2-year-old. Why would I care?
A 2-year-old? Listen, sir, I don't know why you come on and you talk like you're holier than thou. As soon as you're away,
All right,
who's this? Applications are open.
All right, let's just...
That's your team, bro.
Let's end this, please.
Cooked.
You know what? I'm not doing this story, guys. I couldn't care less about your silly
Why
little...
the fuck is it so hard to find the fucking clip, man? Fucking hell.
This clip is going viral.
Try and one up each other.
Care. I don't
Just
care
talk
about
to
your
me
silly
normally.
insults.
Talk to me normally.
Talk
to me normally.
I don't care about your silly insults.
But what do you mean you don't care? What do you mean you don't care? What I said is fact. I have a picture of it. I can flip it around and show you right now.
I couldn't care less
Bro,
about your
I want to hear the fucking actual thing, man. What the fuck?
I wouldn't say I'm homophobic at all.
I understand that, but I'm curious why you don't think disowning a child...
Sure.
Do you put somebody's name in?
Really?
Yes.
To people like you, sir.
Right, cool.
I don't mind that.
Here it is, finally, man. Fucking off. What's happened here as well? 1 second. Nancy Charlotte. This is and then all these girls coming. Shut your bitch ass up. All right, cool. All right, this is definitely the clip, guys, now.
You make yourself look like an idiot every single day when your wife is at home posting pictures that you're out and she wants to get used like a toy by a big black man who is cleaning her car. Is that why you have a problem with me? Is that why you're pushing this homophobic narrative? Because I'm the big black man that shagged your wife while you are on holiday. I don't know why you come on and you talk like you're holier than thou. As soon as you're away,
All right,
who's this? Applications are open.
All right, let's just...
That's your ting, bro. That's your girl.
Let's end this, please.
Cooked. Misogynistic.
Big up to H.
I'm comparing you to Epstein then, because you're in his files.
Harrison.
Exactly.
You're making yourself look an even bigger idiot than you did on the Netflix show.
Oh, really? Really? Yes. To people like you, sir, I don't mind that. You make yourself look like an idiot every single day when your wife is at home posting pictures that you're out and she wants to get used like a toy by a big black man who is cleaning her car. Is that why you have a problem with me? Is that why you're pushing this homophobic narrative? Because I'm the big black man that shagged your wife while you are on holiday. I don't know why you come on and you talk like you're holier than thou. As soon as you're away,
All right,
who's this? Applications are open.
All right, let's just...
That's your ting, bro. That's your girl.
Let's end this, please.
Cooked.
You know what?
Just like HS Tiki said, cooked, bro. Like, look, HS Tiki Toki absolutely cooked him. Absolutely cooked him. Like, the fact that Piers Morgan's trying to come out at people in the manosphere, the red pill space, and call people misogynistic and this Andrew Tate stuff, and, you know, gets onto all the other guys. And the fact that his wife is a fucking complete whore, posting up like half-naked black guy cleaning her car and, you know, literally entertains other men. It's like, bro, you are in no place to talk. You are literally a walking cuck, yeah, who used to work for the BBC, right? I'm pretty sure you did. Allegedly, I think you did. And, you know, fucking, you got pictures with Ghislaine Maxwell and you want to come out like you are the moral one and you're the ethical one and all of this. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. Get your life in order first. Get your wife in order first. Get her back in the kitchen making you meals. And then maybe we can listen to what you got to say. Until then, Piers, shut the fuck up, you cuck.
Sorry, guys. It's pointless.
It's pointless. Okay. So apparently there's like a show that was going to come out called The Bachelorette. It's based on a woman called Taylor Frankie Paul. Apparently she's she's a single mom with children and shit. I don't know, but anyway, I don't know much about her. But what I do know is the company, the producers pulled out because there was a video going around of this woman who was going to be the Bachelorette, and she's beating the shit out of her ex-boyfriend. Now I'm going to play the video now, guys.
To the fallout. The new season canceled after leaked videos showed Taylor Frankie Paul throwing chairs at her now ex-boyfriend. Now, in just released body cam, you can see her slap him right in front of the cops.
Just released police body cam shows new video of canceled Bachelorette Taylor Frankie Paul striking her ex-boyfriend.
She is hammered.
You can see Taylor raising her hand at Dakota Mortensen. He flinches. Then police say she hits him.
Hey, stop.
Officers pin down Taylor's arms. Dakota tells cops she's drunk. Police came to the house in 2023 after a 911 call reporting domestic violence. Video shows Taylor attacking Dakota inside her home, kicking him and throwing metal chairs at him. In the new video, you can see her sobbing as cops enter her home. There's the overturned metal chairs. Her house is in disarray with children's items strewn all over the floor. She tells police that Dakota was the one who started the dispute.
He's pushed me in my garage, the man. All I know is that I peed my pants.
You can see Taylor's 5-year-old daughter peeking out from behind the blinds as cops question the reality TV star. During the assault, police say her daughter was accidentally hit by a metal chair, causing a goose egg bump on her forehead.
Your daughter is right here.
Police place Taylor in handcuffs and take her away. They return the following week to remove a metal chair as evidence. Taylor's emotional as she asks officers if she's in trouble.
So with this, like, you guys looking at this, like, is it, I guess, like, is it super bad?
Podcaster Emmanuel Acho hosted The Bachelor After the Final Rose in 2021 and says it was a mistake to hire Taylor Frankie Paul as the Bachelorette.
Number one, Taylor Frankie Paul, you already know that this situation has existed and this video exists. And once a video comes out in our society, everything changes. The secondary part is the executives, of all the people you can cast, that decision and that risk is simply not worth the reward.
Reality TV expert Steve Carbone says lots of fans are disappointed.
People are just like, why would they choose her? And yeah, we feel a little bit betrayed. I think what they're betrayed about is the vetting process of all this.
Taylor Frankie Paul pled guilty to aggravated assault, but the charges could be dropped if she successfully completes her probation requirement.
Now, look. First of all, if you're watching shows like this, you know, shows like Bachelorette, I've never heard of it, but first time, Love Island, any of these shows, especially as a man, you're a retard. Like women, you know, they can get away with it. We know that women like low IQ, goy slop TV. But as a man, if you're watching this shit, come on, bro, do better. Like you cannot be wasting your time and your energy as a man. Furthermore, man, it shows again vetting women, going back to what I was saying before. But anytime you ever see a woman ever being aggressive, raising her hand, like, no chance, bro. That's why I don't date hood bitches, honestly. I don't date hood bitches because hood bitches be having traits like that. They think they can hit men and, you know, they can get away with it. And did you realize when the police turned up, she turned around and said, a man hit me. Like, do you get what I'm saying? She was trying to, like, you know, turn it around on him and basically saying because he's a man, he should be the one being arrested. Even though there was video footage showing her abusing the fuck out of him. He clearly looked like a cuck, you know, and, you know, not to be horrible to him, but he obviously doesn't have any assertiveness in him. Not because he didn't hit her. Like, honestly, if he's in a situation like that, you need to get her the fuck out of the house. You need to call police and you need to get out of her life. Furthermore, you should never have children with her. She's clearly unstable and mentally incapable of being a normal person. So it's good to see that she did face actual real accountability, not only from police, but also losing her role in this Bachelorette thing, which is crazy how they had a woman as a Bachelorette who has like children and shit. It's like, what's all of a sudden a single mum is fucking a valuable woman, like on the dating market? Definitely not. I would actually argue to say a single mum has no value in the dating market. In fact, single mums should only date single dads. But yeah, man, fucking crazy work. But yeah, that's one story I wanted to touch on. I'm going to quickly show you guys who Joe Kent is, because obviously we spoke about Joe Kent before. Joe Kent's resignation was brave. His analysis is faulty. Oh my God. From jewishcurrents.org. Of course they're going to say that. The former counterterrorism official assertion that Israel was responsible for US wars in Iraq and Syria is false and evidence of a dangerously conspiratorial worldview. Joe Kent, who resigned last week as director of National Counterterrorism Center to protest America's attack on Iran, is a brave man. It takes courage to resign on principle from a top government job. Kent is far more senior than any of the officials who resigned to protest Joe Biden's support for Israel's genocide in Gaza, and his decision is especially risky given Donald Trump's thirsty retribution. His resignation letter also contains some essential truths. In it, he declares that Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. That should be obvious given that Tehran possesses no nuclear weapons and no missiles capable of hitting the US, and that it tried to avoid war despite being struck repeatedly in recent years by Israel and the US, and that it complied with the stringent nuclear inspections required by the 2015 nuclear deal. Kent also writes that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby, a reality that was corroborated by Secretary of State Marco Rubio himself, also known as Marco Jubio. Yeah, man. Listen, if you think that we're in Iran because they pose a threat to America or they have nuclear weapons, you are literally a retard. It's very evident that they possess no threat to us. Actually, recently, do you not remember when Trump said that we struck their nuclear plants and they have no nuclear energy left? Yeah. So why are we still going into war, deeper into it? Why? Because it is the greater plan of Israel. They want to take over Iran. In fact, you know, the last few days, they actually invaded South Lebanon. And they've been taking out churches after churches. They want to rebuild their third temple. And, you know, like Joe Kent said, it's very evident the only reason that we're in war with Iran is because of the American Zionist lobby that we do have and the people that control our politicians. All right. That's on that. I'm not sure. Have you heard of DC3, Zion? He's a rapper from the UK. Oh yeah, DC3. Is that your boy? Yeah. Bro. He does like gospel rap. Yeah, I'm about to post on him now, like positively. Yeah. So here I have a clip of a rapper called DC3. I've never heard of him because obviously I haven't really been involved in like the UK scene for a while. I don't really listen to UK rap that much, but it's actually Zion's boy, and you know, he does gospel rap. I didn't even know, so maybe I might actually start listening to him more, seeing as he does gospel rap. But he had an interview with a BBC presenter. I think it was like some Pajita-looking woman, and anyway, he mentions Jesus, and let's see how she reacts.
Hates us, right? Hates us so much. And we know that. We know that they are completely removed from the day-to-day lives. They know that they do not believe that the United Kingdom should have Brexited. We know that they do not believe that the United Kingdom is a Christian country anymore. And actually, I'm going to be frank. They don't believe that the United Kingdom should be a majority white country either. But over the weekend, there was international outrage, quite rightly, as Geeta Guru Murthy quite literally
she was a Pajita.
Hissed.
I knew it.
She hissed. She went, sss. The moment a young man said that alongside some trendy young rappers, one of his heroes was Jesus Christ. If you don't believe me, listen for yourself.
My heroes are Santan Dave, Kendrick Lamar, most of all Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, it's lovely to meet you, Daniel Chenja.
Stop your hissing, Geeta. Now, of course, as this went viral, she had to try and clap back, posting on X. I've seen there's some discussion about the end of my interview with DC3 this week. For the record, I was simply breathing in before moving to end the interview. To suggest anything else is just untrue, helpfully copying in BBC News. Well, I call bullshit on that. And here's the thing. If Geeta Guru Murthy wasn't a paid up leftist, wasn't an activist broadcaster, then perhaps I would give her the benefit of the doubt in this case. But her track record is very clear. Do you remember when Nigel Farage decided initially that he wasn't going to run for Clacton? And she responded live on air in this way.
This is now a matter of national security.
Nigel Farage with his customary inflammatory language there at a Reform UK press conference. He declined to stand for a seat.
Well, at least she didn't hiss that time, but she may as well have. And what about on the Brexit celebration day, when she was just so mortified that in a majority white country, there were actually some white people in the audience? Watch.
Great. Today, we've seen so many Union Jack flags flying. That is fantastic. Do you know what? Up until now, we've been ashamed to show those flags. Why can't we wave our flag and be proud? Be proud to who we are. That's what it's about.
I suppose looking at the crowd, it is a very white crowd mostly. And when you say fly the flag, you know, to many, the whole Brexit debate, as for many, it's been about immigration, and it's not been a welcoming view for many who are not white.
I've had enough listening to her. Listen, fat Pajita, you need to stop eating curry and fucking get on the treadmill, yeah? Because one, you're overweight, two, you're a fucking progressive leftist, and three, you clearly hate your country that you're from. Let me tell you some things in case you didn't know. England is a Christian country. England was built by white Christian men. So the fact that you're turning around saying, oh, it seems very white, the crowd, so fucking what? Isn't England a majority white country? And shouldn't they want that? It's their country. Like, who said that England and America is a playground for every other immigrant or foreigner to come in? Huh? So, yeah, I'm not surprised that you hissed when DC3, the rapper, mentioned Jesus Christ, because you are a Pajita, a little onion bargy that believes in fucking cows. Yeah? You're a fucking pagan. You fucking pray to a cow. Yeah? You in your country, they fucking throw shit at each other, and they fucking throw shit at each other. Fucking hell. In your country, they fucking throw shit at each other, and they dodge deodorant constantly. So, like, I don't know what the fuck you've got to say. Like, this dumb bitch in the BBC, and on top of it, you work for a pedo fucking corporation. You know, Jimmy Savile was part of the BBC. A lot of people, Ricky Demon was part of the BBC. We already know that a lot of the people in the BBC are known nonces. So, yeah, that's my... Fuck this Pajita, bro. All right, cool. So here, guys, I'm going to play a video of, to me, it appears like a Somalian guy getting into an Uber, but he says he's Ethiopian. Now, look, I have a lot of Ethiopian friends, and I can kind of differentiate like the look of an Ethiopian and a Somalian. To me, this guy definitely looks more Somalian than Ethiopian. Yeah, I don't know. My African brother Zaran might be able to, you know, double stamp and tell me, yeah, bro, he's some more Somalian. He don't look Ethiopian, but you know, I know that the countries are close together. I know Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan, all in East Africa. However, I do think this guy looks more Somalian, and he was probably just lying. But let's watch the clip, and then I'll respond to it at the end. Definitely funny, this one, man. This one had me cracking up.
Uber for Yahya?
And this is another thing. According to, I swear, like, majority of Ethiopians are deep Christians, right? They don't have names like that. Like, that name sounded Somalian. Like, do you get what I'm saying? That didn't sound like no Ethiopian name. But anyway, let's go back to the clip.
Oh, my seatbelt. Yes, Piccadilly Station.
I don't know. Actually, there he looks a little bit Ethiopian. I don't know. Maybe he's lying. I don't know.
Oh, my name is Yahya.
Yahya. Is that an Ethiopian name? I don't know. You guys are gonna have to let me know in the chats, man. But yeah. Yeah. I did say like he does slightly look Ethiopian. I just went more because of his name, like Aha. Like I don't know. I've never heard of an Ethiopian. Ethiopians normally have like Christian names, but all right, cool. Let's go back to it.
How
old are you?
24.
My daughter, she's 22.
Oh, you have a daughter that's 22?
She's studying medicine.
Oh, medicine. Oh, mashallah, mashallah. Allah Mubarak.
What are you studying?
Oh, me? Me, I'm done with school. I work now.
How much you earn a month?
Month? 8,000.
Wow! Interested.
Eh?
قبيلة
Huh?
ده قبيلة إنه شيك ده.
I'm not Somali, so I don't. I'm Ethiopian.
Ethiopian. يمكن مدعيس هذا أركتد واحد مدرسين الفرح صار عيب. I know you understand me. واد كبرتي. دخل عليس بدو بهاتها. 8,000 a month. كبرت Somalian. واد في عن بدهلي. You want to marry my daughter?
Can I see?
If you marry my daughter, this bullshit you have to stop. You're Somali.
You are Somali.
Can I see what your daughter looks like?
Okay, I show you a picture.
Let me see. Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
That's her?
Mashallah, mashallah.
She's mashallah, but it's not my type. Mashallah. She's gonna find a nice guy.
She's not your type.
She's not my type.
She wouldn't even marry you, Adiga.
Yeah,
when I was married, I didn't ask type. Why Skagur said I just married. She's not the type. Mahayta ma engine ba magariba. She's a cat. She building. She's not the type. What the hell are you typing? She's a wife.
I'm giving him a 1-star rating, bro. What the heck?
Excuse me.
Huh?
What's that?
Huh?
You heard him.
Aniga, I can block you on the Uber app as well. You stinking as well. Where's the perfume?
You're stinking as well. Lots of perfume.
Where ya Ahmed?
So guys, I'm gonna watch it again, but this time I'm gonna commentate to it. But bro, that was fucking epic. Now, I don't know if this was fixed or it's like a skit or it's not real. I don't know. To me, it seems real. I'm not gonna lie, but it's so funny that it could potentially not be real. But bro, this is fucking too funny. Especially being from London and like understanding the African culture. Like, look, African culture is very different depending where you are in Africa. So I grew up with Ghanaians, Cameroonians, and Nigerians. Very different to like Eastern Africa. But in East Africa, like they're a lot more like pushy. Like especially when it comes to marriage and you know, especially like Somalians, Eritreans, even Ethiopians. Even though like Ethiopia is a Christian country, they're still a lot more pushy to like marriage and stuff. But I'm gonna watch it one more time and then I'll react to it as it goes along. But yeah, man, that was fucking funny.
Uber for Yahya? Okay. Oh, my seatbelt? Yes, Piccadilly.
Man said seatbelt, please. Bro, give the guy a chance, bro. He just fucking walked in the cab.
Station, yep.
What's your name? Yahya.
Oh, my name is Yahya.
How?
Now, look, I don't know if he is Somalian. Maybe he did lie, but Yahya to me does sound more Somalian than Ethiopian. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is a
24.
Mashallah. My daughter, she's 22.
Oh, you have a daughter that's 22?
She's studying medic.
Low-key, you could tell he wants to bust up as well. Like, I know London youths well. Like, I know like the chemistry between London youths, like what he's thinking, like what's going through his head. Right now, he wants to bust up because he already knows what's halfway going on, right?
Medicine.
Oh, medicine. Oh, my.
Also, this is another thing. Let me tell you guys something. Whenever like a girl's studying something like medicine or something like that, she's most likely going to be ugly, man. Like, I don't know. It's just in my opinion, whenever I've seen girls who go deep into studies and, you know, their careers and all of that. And plus, she's Somalian. But, yeah.
Allah, mashallah. Allah Mubarak.
What are you studying?
And look, am I saying there's no good-looking Somalian girls? I'm sure there is, right? Like, I have seen a couple in my time, but let me tell you, like, 95% of Somalians in general are not good-looking people. Like, forget whether they're women or men.
Oh, me?
The women probably
me, I'm
worse.
done with school. I work now.
Pause. I don't mean it like that. Obviously, I'm not interested in fucking men. You know, I'm saying like whenever I'm seeing like Somalian girls, like they're an L, bro. Like, but a few of my Somalian guys have been gallus in the past, like, you know, semi-gallus, I guess. Like, especially if they can get away with not being Somalian.
How much you earn month?
Month?
Bro, what kind of fucking Uber driver asked the other guy how much do you earn in a month? But again, this is like Eastern African culture kind of thing. Straight away, he's like trying to hook him up with his daughters. Like, how much do you earn? Because that's the first thing I want to know. Like, if you're a brokey, you ain't taking my daughter.
8,000.
All right, he's definitely capping. Yeah, to be earning 8,000 a month in London, what is that? That's like 120,000 a year, right? Am I right? Yeah, that's like 100k a year, right? I don't see a guy who's 24 who's just come out of studying earning 100k a year in England. That's a lot of money. That's pounds sterling. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Wow. Interested.
Eh?
Huh?
Huh?
No shake there.
I'm not Somali, so I don't. I'm Ethiopian.
Ethiopian. Inka madaxiisa haddaad aragtid waxaad moodaysaa ina faarax soo dhacay. I know you understand me. Waad kibirtay. Dhaqan celis baad u baahan tahay. 8,000 a month gabadh Soomaaliyeed wad oo fiican baad heli. You want to marry my daughter?
Can I see?
If you marry my daughter, this bullshit you have to stop. You are Somali.
Imagine he is Ethiopian. My man's telling him, nah, bro, you're Somali. Like, if you're going to marry my daughter, this bullshit has to stop. Like, you're Somali. I don't know. Look, he could be Ethiopian and he's just lying to him, but also, I'm sorry, he could be Ethiopian and he's telling the truth, or potentially he could be Somalian and lying. I don't know. But judging by his facial reactions, he's most likely Ethiopian, right? But it seems that the Uber driver is convinced that he is Somalian. I don't know whether it's the name. I don't know what it is.
See what your daughter looks like?
Okay, I show you a picture.
Okay, I'll show you a picture.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
That's her?
Mashallah.
You could tell his face right there. He's not impressed. Yeah, he's thinking, bro, this Somalian chick is an L, bro. I'm going to go get myself a good Ethiopian pretty chick. And look, the truth is Ethiopian girls are actually pretty, like, in general. Like, I find Ethiopian women very attractive. One of my favorite countries in Africa for women. I think Nigerian and Ghanaian women can be pretty, but also out of East Africa, I think Ethiopia is definitely like the one. Eritrea actually has pretty girls as well, but Ethiopia probably better, especially for me. I actually would wife an Ethiopian girl. We actually have quite a lot of Ethiopians at my church because if you guys don't know, Ethiopians are actually Christian Orthodox. So.
She's mashallah, but it's not my type.
Bro, the way he busts that, yeah, she's mashallah, but she's not my type. And that's why another reason why I thought like he might be lying about him not being Somalian, because typically Ethiopians are not going to use the word mashallah. Mashallah is like it's an Arab word, right? It's used amongst Muslims. So that's one reason I thought maybe he is Somalian, but
mashallah, she's gonna find a nice guy.
She's not your.
And the way he's laughing, the Uber driver, you could tell that he's vexed. He could tell, like, that sounded like some evil laugh. Like he was just gonna drop him right there and then.
She's not my type.
She wouldn't even marry you, Adiga.
That for me reminds me of like some of my boys that I grew up with that had that no game or didn't get no girls. Like, you know when you go up to a chick and like you try and draw the chick and like she's not interested and you're like, oh fuck it, she's ugly anyways. Like, bro, you sound like a moron doing that. And especially like it's the same with this Uber driver. Like, bro, you're trying to hook my man up with your daughter, and as soon as he says no, you're like, she wouldn't marry you anyway. So like, bro, what the fuck was you trying for then? The guy earns 8,000 a month, if it's true. And, you know, he seems like he handles himself very well. Like, he's got his head screwed on his shoulder. So, you know, you probably would want him dating your daughter. But, yeah, now she's not even interested. She wouldn't even marry him.
She declined in faith.
I'm going to give you...
When I was married, I didn't ask type.
She's declining faith?
Why Skagursele? I just married. She's not the type. Mahita me engine but Magariba. She's a cat. Is she a building? She's not the type.
Is she a cat? Is she a building? What do you mean she's not your type? He's basically saying in my day, people used to just get married, forget whether a girl is your type or not.
What the hell are you typing? She's a wife.
I'm giving him a 1-star rating, bro. What the heck?
Excuse me?
Yeah?
What's that?
Yeah?
I can block you on the Uber app as well. What's that? You stinking as well. Where's the perfume?
Oh, where's the perfume? So the guy, the Ute turns around, he says, yeah, I'm gonna give him a 1-star rating, and then the Uber driver hears and he says, okay, I'm gonna block you from the Uber app. And he goes, and plus he goes, and you stink as well. Where's your perfume? Ironic coming from a Somalian, but oh yeah, it says he stinks. Calls him Ahmed. Anyway. Oh yeah, man, that was a video I wanted to respond to. I thought that one was fucking funny. What do you guys think? Funny ass video. All right, cool. Cannabis, foot golf, and then review. Hey, I came across more fucking bots. So OnlyFans owner. So business fans owner. Business fans. So OnlyFans owner and billionaire, 43-year-old Leonid Radwinsky, he died of cancer. Just died of cancer, man. And, you know, I'm going to have to say, bro, rest in piss. Because you got a lot of blood on your hands, don't you? Yes, you do. You've ruined a lot of families, man. You ruined a lot of the nuclear family. You know, a lot of the young women are doing OnlyFans because you create the platform for them. And it just shows that you can have all the money in the world, guys. And if you do bad and you carry bad karma and you fuck people over, because he did fuck a lot of people over. Like having an unethical business like that, like you can't tell me the guy's a good person. I couldn't give a fuck. People who own any businesses in the pornography, pharmaceutical, all these people, they're not good people and they lack morals. And yeah, to him rest in peace. To him rest in peace, because you are also one of them boys. And alongside with OnlyFans, feminism, pornography, and social medias, and all these dating apps which happen to be owned by them boys, you guys have ruined the modern civilization. And because of you guys, the majority of people are never going to have a nuclear family. Actually, if you look at the statistics, both men and women are actually having to pay for this. Even myself, like, for example, like, I think I would have had a wife by now if the pharmaceutical industry wasn't involved, because one of the key things for me is finding a girl who's unvaccinated. That's probably the hardest thing to find, even more harder than a virgin, if you want me to be honest with you. So, yeah, man. This guy ruined the nuclear family, and you know, he probably got his $7,000, well, a lot more than that. He got probably I think he's worth $3 billion. But yeah.
I got my $7,000. I don't give a shit about dead kids. I got my $7,000.
And you know, they always say, if someone else doesn't do it, they will.
Because I'm Jewish, stop being a jealous loser and go get a job. I can do what I want because I'm chosen by God.
someone else will. If I don't edit Wikipedia, someone else will. If I don't limit your reach, someone else will. If I don't censor speech, someone else will. If I don't blow up your kids, someone else will. If I don't attack. All right, cool. So recently, I've been seeing a lot of people getting ready to fly to Barcelona for Spanibis. I'm pretty sure it's Barcelona, right? I might be wrong. It might be another part of Spain. But I have seen people getting ready for Spanibis, which is always in Spain around March, April. And you know, you guys know I've won a Higher Times Cup before. I've won multiple IC Mag trophies. And I'm very proud of them, right? You know, my Higher Times trophy is right there in the back, actually. Now, I remember when I won Higher Times, people were telling me, bro, you'll never win it. It's a scam. These guys, they only give it to people that pay for stuff. And it happened to be that I, as a big underdog, when I was going up against some of the best, if not the best, Californian brands, I went out there and got second place at the Spanibis in 2018. At the Higher Times Cup in Amsterdam in 2018. Now, you know, a couple years later, I entered Spanibis for the first time ever. And when I entered Spanibis, it wasn't done by judges. It was done by a test result. So before I entered Spanibis, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to test result my own stuff to make sure that I'm putting in stuff that's elite. Now, you know, it was like a THC and a terp profile testing. Now, we already had tests for everything and all the entries that we sent over to Spain for Spanibis. And, you know, we spent a lot of money getting involved. We spent money in getting a lot of the squad members over to Spanibis, getting people ready to collect our awards, because we knew that anything we enter, we're going to be strong contenders. Now, when that did happen, you know, it happened to be that when the test results come back, the test results were definitely wrong. And I was like, bro, we've been scammed. Spanibis is a scam. Now, you know, I sent emails out, literally like insulting them and telling them that they're scammers and it's not right. And here's the proof that Spanibis are scammers. And no one should go to Spanibis. No one should support Spanibis. And if you win Spanibis, I'm sorry, bro, but yeah, you want a cup that is fixed, honestly. No one really gives a fuck. Yeah, we only care about real trophies and real cups that are actually judged by people. Or if they're going to be judged by test results, then they have to be actually real legit test results. Now here, I'm going to show you guys an email. Okay, I'm showing you guys the email. Me and Spanibis back and forth. Okay, this is not the actual one, but all right, cool. And there's actually another video which I'll include in a clip where I call them scammers, right? And then after I call them scammers, oh, don't tell me it's the wrong one. Both the videos are sent. Okay, so here's the messages where I sent them, and I said, no problem, we will be announcing your fake rigged cup. I have the test results of our entry, so you'll be looking like a joke, believe me. Say goodbye to your cup and brand. I want my money back. These results were fake, and I have the proof. Now, one sec. See if I can find it online. Maybe I should just airdrop it here quickly. Phone. One sec, guys. I'll get the video up. All right, cool. I've got it. Yeah. How can should I airdrop it to the laptop? IMAX. Oh, yeah, okay. Got it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What's new in photos? Could I just get it? Or should I have done it as a download, innit? Doesn't matter? Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, so here, guys, we have the emails that I got sent back after literally calling them scammers and telling them that the results are fake. So here we have Gonzalo from Spanibis. And let's go into the messages. Hello here, Gonzalo from Spanibis. I hope you are all good. Please, I need your bank details in order to refund you for 3 of your participations of the last Spanibis Championship Cup. We received new counter analysis from the lab which confirmed there were some errors in 3 of your samples. So we are going to refund you €750 for all these entries. I'm very sorry for the situation and I want to transmit you on our apologies. Looking forward to hearing from you. Best regards. Here's the proof, guys. Here's the proof. From Gonzalo, official, his own Spanibis thing. And let me see if I can forward it. Obviously, I gave him loads more stick. And yeah, man, that was the proof. So, guys, look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. For every hit piece or everything I do going forward, I'm always going to have receipts. I've got receipts for everything. But again, like I told you, Spanibis are scammers. I'm going to have receipts for everything. Every hit piece I do on everyone, every company, I'm always going to have proof and receipts to go along with it. So yeah, Spanibis are scammers and they hold no weight or good reputation when it comes to being real official with all the test results or their judging. Realistically, it's most likely all given to their friends, people that they like and get along with. And even that year, I remember they gave things to like, Bentco and, Stacks and shit because, I wonder why. All right, cool. So this weekend, I actually traveled to San Diego. I went there for a foot golf tournament. I was actually playing at the Welk Resort, which is actually not exactly in San Diego. It's just before San Diego. It's like near Escondido. And yeah, man, had a good time. The first day, I ended up 5th. There was a lot more of us on the first day. And then the second day, I ended up 2nd. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that first place. The alien, Jordan Godfrey, and I call him the alien because of how good he is. For me, he's probably one of the best players in the world, but definitely the best in America. Definitely the American GOAT right now, and has been for a while, a very long time. And yeah, man, he got a disgusting score of -16. I wasn't able to catch up with him. I got -11. The person after me got -7, who was my boy Bart. And yeah, man, happy to get myself my 4th podium, 2nd finish. Still proud, still want to improve, still want to get to the top where I'm just as good as Jordan Godfrey and going in and out of these tournaments, winning every single one if I can. Not every single one, but you know what I'm saying. Being a threat and being one of the favourites. And yeah, again, man, it's one of the most humbling sports I've ever played. More humbling than anything I've ever done. More humbling than jiu-jitsu, sparring, anything. Foot golf is very hard to play. It's not easy. Don't think that just because you're an amazing football player, soccer player, whatever you want to call it, that you're going to step into the sport and be great. That's what I used to think. But you're going to have to understand the golf aspects of it. You're going to have to build patience. You're going to have to learn courses. You're going to have to learn lines. And yeah, man. On that note, we do have a foot golf video coming up. And yeah, that's pretty much it that happened this weekend with foot golf. Guys, I'm going to cut off the stream right now and we're going to transition over to Kick. And on Kick, we're going to do the 3 strain reviews and then we're going to end it. So, yeah, we're 3 hours on stream. This is probably the longest stream I've ever done, apart from like the girls' nights. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to go take a piss quickly. By the time I'm finished, everyone come over to Kick and, yeah, we'll do the strain review on Kick. See you in a sec, guys. What do you reckon of the